All right, you and I have both had rough mornings, but our guy wakes up groggy to some serious ear-piercing screaming. Before Lu Sheng can even process what the heck is happening, his teacher absolutely roasts him. His classmates turn around, laughing like hyenas, literally saying, "Bro, why are you looking so completely clueless right now?" Turns out, Lu Sheng has been sleeping through the entire day. And yeah, the teacher is super ticked off about his incredibly lazy attitude. The massive exam is only 200 days away, but during class time, Lu Sheng is just rolling around, sleeping like a literal baby pig. This completely sets the teacher off. The old man yells so aggressively that spit is practically flying everywhere. He angrily warns Lu Sheng that with this lazy slacker vibe, even a basic bricklaying construction crew wouldn't want to hire him after graduation. Absolutely savage. To test him, the teacher asks if Lu Sheng even knows the bare minimum blood chi requirement to become a simple cement worker. Everyone assumed Lu Sheng was clueless, but he nervously mumbles the exact right answer, 0.8. Hearing this makes the teacher even madder, asking if he actually meets that standard. His classmates immediately jump in to relentlessly mock him. They joke and relentlessly laugh, saying Lu Sheng's blood chi is barely hanging onto a 0.7. Besides napping all day, what exactly can he do for society? The exhausted teacher just shakes his head and sighs, totally giving up. Zero competitive spirit. Soon after school ends, his buddy Liu Qiming happily runs over to check on him. This guy is one of Lu Sheng's only real friends in class. Lu Sheng just nods, completely exhausted. He closes his heavy eyes, immediately recalling the horrifying scenes flashing through his nightly dreams. His dream is always a completely ruined, empty wasteland, with zero humans around, totally swarming with bizarre, terrifying monsters. He groans, begging his buddy Liu Qiming to please stop talking about this stuff. Those terrifying nightly nightmares are seriously draining his mental energy, making him feel absolutely awful every day. His blood chi even dropped by 0.02. He had to chug expensive tonic meds and train like crazy just to recover a tiny bit, but he still gets absolutely roasted by the teacher on a daily basis. But Liu Qiming does not care about blood chi stats at all. He cheerfully tells Lu Sheng, "Just ignore the old man's ranting. Be happy, living as a totally normal guy. Just leave the big hero stuff and saving the entire world to the overpowered geniuses who actually care." You would think this advice would bring hope, but nope, it is just a massive serving of pure despair. After his terrible pep talk, Lu Qiming invites him to the internet cafe, but Lu Sheng is absolutely not in the mood for gaming today. Right now, all he really wants is to go straight home, so he totally turns his friend down. Lu Qiming is super shocked by this rejection because these two bros are normally glued together. The guy even generously offers to pay for all the gaming and drinks, but Lu Sheng just aggressively shakes his head no. Lu Qiming still desperately tries to convince him to tag along, but other friends call him away. They agree to hang out later, wave goodbye, and he runs off with the gaming squad. Walking back home, Lu Sheng cannot catch a mental break. His mind is completely hyper-fixated on those awful nightmares from the past few days. He literally transmigrated into a brand new fantasy world, yet he somehow still has to stress out about taking high school exams. He feels totally depressed thinking about brutal subjects like math and chemistry, plus having to keep up with the daily news trends. Honestly, this new world does not look much different from his past life. While deep in thought, a random pedestrian angrily screams at him for freezing like a statue right in the middle of the road. The guy yelling at him is casually carrying an absurdly heavy stack of cargo on his head. Lu Sheng watches, super jealous. He wonders when he will ever get that strong, especially since the body he transmigrated into is basically as fragile as wet paper. Over 300 years ago, this world went through a completely insane transformation. Giant rifts violently ripped open across the sky and earth. Hideous, terrifying monsters crawled out from inside, permanently altering the entire course of this world's history forever. Modern thermal firearms basically became completely useless against them, but humans suddenly unlocked crazy new powers when a hidden genetic lock inside their bodies miraculously shattered wide open. Physical combat strength could now easily break through to completely unimaginable, godlike levels of raw power. Because of this, humanity fully stepped onto the path of martial arts. But even with superpowers, the brutal survival war against these invading monsters remained incredibly tough. Humans are still at a massive disadvantage. It feels like cities fall every single day, and humanity just keeps suffering tragic, endless defeats on the battlefield. Facing this bleak apocalyptic reality, the head teacher stands up to deliver a seriously heavy announcement to all the high school students. You were all born in an era of violent chaos, and you absolutely must carry the heavy burden of our time. You are training in martial arts for the survival of humanity. Every single one of you is a burning flame of martial arts. Now, this is where you and I see the real struggle. Lu Sheng leans against the locker, panting heavily. He practiced his physical arts 3 times, but his blood chi has not improved at all. Unlike his genius little sister, whose blood chi quickly skyrocketed to a solid 0.9, meanwhile, our guy cannot even replenish the tiny amount of stats he lost from having bad dreams. Not even a single drop. Lu Sheng feels awful knowing his hardworking parents spent a fortune on tonics for him. Even the universe gave him a second chance by dropping him straight into a martial arts world. Are we really just going to watch him stay a total loser? Muttering to himself, he finally vows to push harder and unlock his true potential. If training 3 times does absolutely nothing, then just keep grinding. Push for 4, 5, or even 6 times. Suddenly, his vision blurs completely out before going pitch black, and when he finally opens his eyes again, boom, our guy just got thrown into a totally different world. The view here is absolutely horrific, ruined beyond belief, with dead bodies scattered literally everywhere. Innocent Lu Sheng pinches his cheek a few times, but nope, no waking up. He just sits there analyzing things, completely clueless. Meanwhile, a grotesque monster has silently appeared right behind him, happily showing off its fangs. That dark shadow behind him immediately attacks, lunging straight at Lu Sheng. Good thing our boy snaps out of his daze and blocks that monster just in time. Otherwise, he would have lost his first kiss to this seriously ugly chick. Now he clearly sees the shadow's face. It is an actual zombie. Seeing those razor-sharp teeth about to bite him, he panics completely. Damn it. He ran away for so many nights, only to get grabbed by this exact thing. The zombie lunges down for a kiss, but Lu Sheng is sharp and handsome. He ducks his head aside, letting that nasty zombie kiss hit the dirt instead. Gritting his teeth, Lu Sheng yells at it to never look down on him. Sure, his combat grades suck, but his vitality score is a solid 0.7. Even if others see him as absolute trash, he still counts as half a martial artist. Saying that, he kicks the zombie right in the chest, breaking the poor undead girl's heart like 1,000 tiny little cuts. Taking that kick, the zombie falls flat on her back. Before she can even sit up, Lu Sheng is already holding a massively oversized rock. Then he charges at the zombie, giving her a free ticket to a complete facial reconstruction. After a few brutal smashes, the zombie girl lies completely motionless. Lu Sheng sits there panting, because that wild beatdown definitely drained his energy. Staring at the zombie under his feet, Lu Sheng sighs. Phew, this thing is finally dead, right? Alright, you and I know a zombie's weak point is the head. Suddenly, weird black floating stuff flies out of the corpse and gets absorbed straight into Lu Sheng, leaving him totally confused. What the heck is this crazy stuff? As more weird objects cling to his body, Lu Sheng screams in absolute panic. Then, bizarre foreign memories suddenly explode right inside his brain. A conversation between 2 men pops up. One talks about his dream of joining the defense base crew. The other guy says defense training there is super brutal and incredibly dangerous. But the ripped dude does not care about the risks at all. Next come flashes of extremely harsh training, followed by memories of a massive riot. Monsters constantly attacking people, with grotesque creatures swarming literally everywhere. Lu Sheng quickly realizes these are the exact memories of that zombie he just smashed. But he does not understand why killing it gave him access to its past. His body starts undergoing bizarre changes, arms and legs trembling in a super unnatural way. While he is completely losing control, another zombie suddenly pops out of nowhere and lunges at him. But weirdly enough, Lu Sheng has become ridiculously strong for absolutely no reason. He easily takes down the new zombie with just a few punches. Compared to his current strength, the Hulk is basically just a joke now. The pitiful zombie just drops dead, and Lu Sheng finally snaps out of his weird trance. Once again, the strange black energy wraps completely around Lu Sheng. He actually feels massive power intensely surging right through his own veins. Thanks to years of reading comics, Lu Sheng guesses that killing a zombie here grants him their memories and their power. You and I both know this is a totally broken cheat code. Lu Sheng stares at his hands, feeling like this whole situation is completely unbelievable. Just a few punches and he casually absorbs another person's lifelong experience. It is a massive profit but feels kind of shady. Still, if this is not a dream, it actually has some awesome perks. But this dreamscape feels so bizarre. Does a dream really need to be this incredibly realistic? After walking for a bit, another glowing corpse appears, immediately catching Lu Sheng's full attention. The guy's skeleton is melting away, and his memories start flowing right into Lu Sheng. Base 1359 pops up in the vision. Lu Sheng remembers seeing this exact base in the previous memories too. It seems he needs to find base 1359 to uncover the truth of this dream. Let's watch closely. Absorbing this zombie's memories does not feel nearly as intense or painful as the first time. Lu Sheng realizes he has to fight the zombies first to inherit their power. Suddenly, glowing blue streaks mysteriously appear up in the dark sky. Lu Sheng's head starts spinning and feeling super dizzy, just like earlier when he was back home. His vision goes pitch black once again. Opening his eyes, he is suddenly staring right back at his own familiar bedroom ceiling. Someone is knocking non-stop on his door outside. Waking up, Lu Sheng is already dripping with cold sweat. Lu Sheng, come eat. How long will you hide in there? Hearing that, Lu Sheng just drags his completely exhausted body to open the door. The one yelling at our boy is Kan Hoa, Lu Sheng's only sister. And man, This pretty little sister just will not stop complaining about him. Don't even try saying you were training. You were totally dead to the world sleeping in there, weren't you? But then she looks up. Our guy is completely dripping with sweat, and her eyes practically bug out of her head. Because somehow, out of nowhere, her normally lazy brother is suddenly rocking an absolutely shredded, completely visible six-pack. Talk about a plot twist. Lu Sheng just stands there, totally clueless, trying to explain that he zoned out and accidentally fell asleep without even realizing it. Kan Hoa quickly turns around, telling him to hurry up and get out here for dinner, so their parents don't have to keep waiting. But as she walks away, she literally cannot get her brother's crazy new physique out of her head. Suddenly, her face is totally burning red. Once she is gone, Lu Sheng starts thinking back to when they were just little kids. Back in the day, she used to stick to him like glue. But ever since they started at the academy and got their very first test results back, her whole attitude toward him totally flipped. He honestly cannot even blame her for it, though. Her blood vitality had already passed the 1.0 mark back then, and her combat power index totally skyrocketed. At this crazy pace, she will score a spot at a top-tier martial arts university in no time. If you had to describe Kan Hoa in just one word, total absolute genius. No joke. Looking at himself, he just feels super helpless right now. He thinks they are the most cliché combo ever, the absolute trash brother and the genius little sister. But then, his eyes randomly lock onto his own reflection in the mirror. Since when did his body get this incredibly jacked? Seriously, he looks way more handsome now, does he not? He stretches out his limbs to warm up. Even though he literally just woke up from an absolute nightmare, he does not feel tired or sluggish at all. Instead, he feels this crazy, overflowing energy like never before. And get this, he actually remembers every single detail from those zombies in his dream. He somehow inherited all their different combat skills right into his brain. This whole situation makes absolutely zero sense. Even his raw physical strength has clearly leveled up a bit. Alright, you and I are about to witness something insane. He suspects he brought his dream power into the real world. Others bust their backs training, while this guy just takes a nap and wakes up totally overpowered. He is literally hacking the system. Lu Sheng walks out to the dining table, where his parents happily greet him. His mom has already packed the entire dinner table with an absolutely massive mountain of food. There is literally zero empty space left. With his parents spoiling him this much, failing his exams would be super embarrassing. But things get weird fast. Our boy starts inhaling his food like a completely starving animal. He just keeps shoving massive spoonfuls of rice into his mouth. While furiously stuffing his face, he actually wonders if his mom's cooking skills magically leveled up overnight. Because the food today tastes ridiculously good, and he simply cannot stop himself from eating every single delicious bite. He holds out his empty bowl, asking his mom for even more rice. But the table is wiped completely clean, and next to him, a giant towering stack of empty bowls he just demolished. Our guy has totally shocked his entire family today. Seeing that the food is completely gone, he flashes a super awkward smile and slowly pulls his empty bowl back. Actually, I am pretty full. Honestly, even he has absolutely no clue how he managed to pack away that much food. But his dad just snatches the bowl right out of his hands. What are you saying? You think we'd let you go hungry in this house? His dad immediately tells his mom to cook another huge pot of rice and extra dishes. It is super rare for his son to eat like this. No way he is letting his boy starve. Teenage boys hit growth spurts like this all the time. You eat forever and never feel full. You're definitely going to shoot up and get taller. He promises to go out and buy even more groceries tomorrow. This crazy massive growth spurt is the perfect chance to boost his blood vitality, and they absolutely cannot waste this golden opportunity. Sitting right next to him, Kan Hoa just rolls her eyes. He is already 18. His last vitality score was literally 0.8. It does not just magically increase overnight. Hearing his daughter's super snarky comment, their poor dad looks incredibly annoyed at her. Hey, stop attacking your brother. Even a tiny boost is still a boost. A regular martial arts college and a specialized one are literally worlds apart. Kan Hoa totally ignores their dad, giving a sassy little scoff before turning her head away. Meanwhile, Lu Sheng just sits there feeling completely helpless. The bratty sister keeps roasting their dad, making him so angry his head is practically smoking. But honestly, Lu Sheng is still distracted, wondering if his stats really did skyrocket from his dream. Though he is terrified he might just be imagining things. Either way, he needs to hit up the dojo to test it out fast. By the time night falls, our boy arrives right at the Hongchuan dojo. The master running this place is Ni Hongchuan, a literal beast at family boxing who scored top 10 in Baihe City's 23rd martial arts tournament. Absolutely epic. This guy is a straight-up level 4 martial artist, and according to the Martial Alliance, a basic level 1 fighter needs a vitality score of 1.5, with a combat index of 150. For a level 2 fighter, vitality hits 15. Their combat power hits 1500. You guys see this? Jumping from level 1 to 2 means your required stats completely multiply by 10 times over. Reaching level 3, your vitality has to be 100, with a crazy combat power index of 10,000. And Master Nihong Chuan? He pushed his vitality past 200 and his combat power to 100,000, finally unlocking the epic level 4 rank. Lu Sheng did the math. Nihong Chuan's blood chi over 200 meant the guy was 300 times stronger than him. The gap between martial artists is absolutely insane. We're talking totally different levels of existence here. High-level fighters are basically real-life, genuine supermen. Plus, these elite cram schools are strictly for rich kids only. If his sister Qinghe wanted to join, their parents would definitely scrape together the cash to help her out. But for our boy, yeah, zero chance of that happening. Look on the bright side. Eating dream zombies meant he didn't need fancy classes anyway. Lu Sheng walked in, greeted by a smiling receptionist. "Welcome to Hongchuan Dojo. Are you here to sign up for our advanced martial arts class, young student?" Lu Sheng smoothly shot that down. Nope, he just came to check his blood chi. The receptionist kept smiling, but her brain was totally judging him. No private family trainer hovering nearby? Yeah, this kid was definitely not rolling in that sweet rich family money. Still, she politely pointed him down the hallway toward testing room number 8. The machines were right inside. She politely offered to tag along and help, but our independent guy politely shut that down. Stepping inside, Lu Sheng took a breath to mentally prep himself. He pressed his hand against the scanner to check his current blood chi. The screen flashed his blood, key, 0.963. Seeing that number, Lu Sheng was absolutely hyped. The dream wasn't a scam. Beating up those zombies actually boosted his blood chi for real. In just 1 hour, his stats jumped by 0.2. Keep this up, and he might actually catch up to his genius sister. But Qinghe was naturally gifted anyway. Regardless, Lu Sheng finally had the juice to push way further down the martial arts path. Alright, you and I are about to see if his combat stats match. Lu Sheng approached the punch machine, raising his fist while nervously hyping himself up. Every single battle skill and move from that jumpsuit-wearing zombie was permanently locked right into his brain. Wham! Lu Sheng smashed his fist into the tester pad, and the screen instantly locked in his score. Boom, 113. His jaw totally dropped. That crazy boost completely blew past his normal blood chi limits. Our guy was officially ready to be a legit martial artist. It felt so wild. Just 1 hour of taking a nap, and his power and combat stats had spiked like crazy. What if he slept for 8, 9, or 10 hours? Man, one good night of sleep and he'd literally become a god. But cue the night, and Lu Sheng couldn't sleep a wink. He violently tossed his pillow. Of course, now he wanted to sleep but couldn't. He probably needed the perfect mood. Or maybe sitting in a boring classroom was the only trigger. Frustrated, Lu Sheng stood up, flicked on the light, and checked his clock. 9 p.m. Yeah, trying to sleep right now was definitely jumping the gun. Might as well get some actual training done. Exhausting himself would totally knock him out later. He took a massive breath, using his surging energy to warm up. The 30th official broadcast calisthenics routine was on. He started stance 1, but suddenly, his own arms and legs totally rebelled against him. Instead of his normal moves, he was flailing around doing something completely unrecognizable. He drilled those 24 forms since grade school, no way he forgot. Then, those weird zombie memories flared right back up in his brain. Suddenly, it clicked. Thanks to those zombie memories, his muscles were automatically practicing the crazy martial arts the monster used to know. While most neighbors had killed their lights for bed, one crazy teenager's shadow was still grinding away on top of his mattress. Lu Sheng threw another brutal punch, panting like an absolute dog. He quickly realized this new routine was roughly 200 moves longer than his old, basic exercises. His hand slashed out, trailing a fierce spark of blue lightning. Even he could feel that ridiculous raw power. Honestly, with every single move, he felt raw strength erupting from his core, pouring out alongside his sweat. Breathing hard, he noticed a crazy secret. It wasn't just the physical moves, his entire breathing pattern had totally changed. Weird memories flooded in, complete with a strict voice preaching about breathing, combat arts, and even proper diets. He literally had to train in his sleep. This was pure magic. A few reps yielded better results than a full year of his old, boring routines combined. That dream world was the real elite genius academy. Lu Sheng closed his eyes, pressed his hands together, and unleashed his inner chi. Thick, intense energy swirled out into a perfect, flawless circle. The epic tension instantly died down when his stomach let out a massive, embarrassing grumble. Let me tell you, he clutched his gut and collapsed, looking like a total zombie. Seriously, he was starving to death, and this intense hunger was absolutely no joke. Looking completely hollowed out and dead inside, he flashed back to dinner. The dude was drooling like an absolute idiot. Probably because that crazy blood chi boost completely drained him. His body was burning fuel way too fast, and normal cafeteria food just wasn't packing the crazy nutrition our boy needed. Lu Sheng was shaking from starvation, needing tonics, but you and I both know his family's bank account was totally empty. They couldn't afford a drop. If this kept up, his epic progress would completely tank. Glancing around his room, a sudden wild idea hit him. He absolutely had to make some quick cash for tonics. Then it clicked. Those sweet end-of-semester merit scholarships? The glorious grade A scholarship at Baihe Academy paid out 50,000 yuan. But to snatch that bag of cash, he had to flex some serious talent. Lu Sheng's eyes burned with fierce determination. Time to get paid and get fed. Bright and early the next morning, inside the chaotic sports hall locker room, Lu Sheng was changing with the guys. Liu Qiming zipped up his jacket, totally hyped. No pop quiz today, and they finally had a real combat class. Halfway through speaking, Qiming absolutely froze. He was staring straight at Lu Sheng's ridiculously shredded six-pack. Whoa, old Lu? Since when the heck did you get so insanely jacked, man? Qiming reached out for a sneaky feel, but Lu Sheng threw his shirt on lightning fast. Qiming didn't care, just kept fanboying. Just a few days and you're huge. Look at those pecs. Lu Sheng played it cool. Been grinding hard lately. Don't go touching me just because I look delicious. Pushing his bangs out of his eyes, Lu Sheng sighed. Now that you mention it, definitely time for a fresh haircut. Qiming just pouted. Yeah, right. You just want to flex in combat class and score with the girls. I see right through your completely shameless, dirty little teen movie playbook. Lu Sheng felt hopeless against his buddy's wild imagination, but whatever. They walked out, arms over shoulders. Meanwhile, Sheng plotted his grand, cash-winning flex. The martial arts hall was basically his absolute golden ticket. Combat teacher Zhang Zhengguo finally barked. Today's combat session is just locking in those basic counterattacks I taught you slackers last time. Qiming leaned in, whispering the school lore. Teacher Zhang was a legit level 2 martial artist, fought real monsters on the bloody battlefield. Just look at that massive hand scar. Sure enough, Zhang Zhengguo rocked a massive, eye-catching scar right across his bare hand. Lu Sheng stared hard, narrowing his eyes. A level 2? Honestly, to him, the guy's combat mechanics looked laughably basic. The insane moves Lu Sheng practiced in his dreams were light years ahead. Zhang Zhengguo finished warming up and hit a dramatic demonstration. He threw some heavy kicks, then casually stopped, posing. All right, kids, the main focus is exactly what I just showed you. Then, Zhang pointed straight into the crowd. Young Yifei, get up here and spar with me. The whole crowd lost their minds. The rich kid superstar was up, and the girls went crazy. Yang Yufei jumped up. Yes, sir, he strutted forward, soaking in all the desperate fanboying and praise. One incredibly thirsty girl practically screamed. Yufei is just so freaking unbelievably cool and so strong, her friend hyped up. Our class's ultimate hot genius. I really want to train with him. The crowd buzzed as the teacher called his name. One girl teased, Train? Please, you just want to eat the guy absolutely alive. The boys, especially Qiming, just scoffed with maximum teenage disgust, groaning about this rich snob hogging the spotlight again. Sure, he was handsome, but he drank premium blood chi tonics for breakfast every single day. Last test, Yifei's blood key was already hitting 1.2. The teachers obviously played favorites. Qiming bitterly whined, how are us normal, broke guys supposed to survive? While Qiming was busy swimming in pure jealousy, Yifei was already up there throwing some seriously aggressive, showy kicks. Watching this, Lu Sheng smirked. The old him would have just sat there crying about life being completely unfair. But things were different now. His eyes flashed with pure energy. Watch closely, he was about to grab everything for himself. On the court, the two finished their flashy little demo with a loud, dramatic hand strike. Zhang Zhengguo brushed his jacket. Good moves. Balance is slightly off, but I'll fix that. Keep training. You have an absolutely boundless future ahead. Next is real combat. Pick some classmates to fight. Yifei respectfully cupped his hands together. Yes, thank you for the guidance, but that was totally fake. Deep down, this arrogant punk completely looked down on his puny level 2 teacher. His private tutors back home were way more elite. Clueless Zhang Zhengguo completely missed the disrespect. He scanned the room, hunting for a brave soul to fight the golden boy. Any volunteers? Crickets. Everyone aggressively avoided eye contact, staring at the ceiling, the floor, literally anywhere else. Qiming loudly snorted. Who's gonna beat him? Going up there just makes you his personal punching bag. All right, guys, picture this. Teacher Trung frowns. Pure disappointment at these absolute cowards. Every combat lesson, these kids hide like giant scared ostriches. How is he supposed to teach them? Sure, the school trains their blood, energy, and martial arts. But let's be real here. Once they join the military, only the absolute elite survive this wild martial arts path. Teacher Trung sweeps his gaze across the room again, completely exasperated, thinking hard. People claim he plays favorites, but nobody else steps up, except for that arrogant golden boy Duong.Fi, who actually has the guts to volunteer. Suddenly, the teacher's scanner vision locks onto Luc Thanh, and wow, this kid's eyes are straight up terrifying. Trung gets genuine chills. Luc Thanh looks like a hardened criminal who has literally slaughtered people before. Utterly crazy. Eyes are the window to the soul, right? He points straight at our guy. All right, you. Get up here and spar with the golden boy Dat Phi. Luc Thanh calmly stands up. Yes, sir. His panicked buddy Kai Min tries grabbing him. Bro, just forfeit immediately. Exams are coming. Getting wrecked now ruins everything. Stop acting tough just for fake street cred. Our boy hilariously flexes his muscles. Looking extremely confident, he tells Kai Min to chill. He has been working out like a beast lately. He swaggers onto the training mat. The teacher sets the sparring timer for 10 very long minutes. Standard combat rules apply. Safety is supposedly the top priority here, especially remembering those boring pressure points from last lesson. Standing face to face, Luc Thanh remembers the golden rule before a massive brawl. You must stay absolutely terrifyingly calm. Such an obvious trick. Why didn't he think of this before? Well, if he wasn't so dense, he wouldn't be reincarnated into this mess. The teacher suddenly pauses to ask Luc Thanh about his current blood energy score. Yesterday it tested at 0.963. But playing the humble hero in front of everyone, he claims it is only 0.8. Teacher Trung looks utterly baffled. He never expected the kid's stats to be that garbage. Standing there radiating pure menace, he definitely does not look like a weak 0.8. Ultimately, he just warns them to pull their punches. Friendly technical exchange only, and then yells begin. Dat Phi glares with maximum contempt. He smugly asks if our guy is ready. He even tries showing off, warning Luc Thanh not to break his fall with his hands to avoid snapping bones. Protect your vitals, especially your head. Luc Thanh shows zero emotion. He just deadpan thanks this arrogant jerk for the terrible advice. I am fully ready now. Please show me your worst. This Dat Phi clown immediately charges in, throwing a punch right at Luc Than's face, thinking some deeply insulting thoughts. Listen up, loser. Do you know what matters in real combat? Controlling distance, reading your opponent's twitchy movements, and perfectly predicting whatever pathetic counterattack they try to throw at you. He monologues a bunch of nerdy textbook theories internally. But it all boils down to one thing, blood energy gap. The watching crowd literally drops their jaws at his insane, blurry speed. Dat Phi rushes forward like an absolute hurricane. He completely assumes this match is an already decided, massive victory. He is totally gonna win this. But shockingly, his full power super punch hits absolutely nothing but thin air. Now, here is where you and I enjoy the karma. Dat Phi's face completely freezes because Luc Thanh effortlessly dodged and is already countering. While this dude is still looking for his target, Luc Thanh gifts him a lightning-fast hook to the cheek, launching him a billion meters away. Dat Phi gets knocked out cold immediately, crashing hilariously straight into the seated crowd of terrified students. Everyone around him panics and freaks out. Nobody saw this insane, monstrous strength coming from our supposedly weak guy. One single punch. That is all it took to hand Dat Phi a one-way ticket to the local hospital. The golden boy is totally out of battery. The teacher screams at the frozen students to call medics. Some random kid nods frantically and sprints off. Medics literally need a stretcher to scrape Dat Phi off the floor. He looks incredibly pathetic right now, all thanks to his massive, toxic ego. Luc Thanh calmly walks up to Teacher Trung, explaining it was totally an accident. He just has not held back his ridiculous power in a while. Oops, his bad. Teacher Trung stares deeply at Luc Thanh, plotting something intensely in mind. He pats the kid's shoulder, reassuring him injuries happen in real combat. He says not to worry since Dat Phi will live, but then ominously invites Luc Thanh to his office for some tea. Luc Thanh agrees and obediently jogs after him, casually asking Kai Min to cover his attendance for the next boring class. Kai Min watches his buddy walk away, giant question marks floating around his confused brain. He seriously wonders if Luc Thanh took some illegal magical steroids to suddenly get this incredibly overpowered. The dude literally just tilted his body once and sent Dat Phi sleeping on the dirt without a single twitch. Seriously, is this even the same Luc Thanh you and I know? Cut to Instructor Zhang's office. You and I are about to see Lu Sheng totally mind-blown. A bonsai tree? Who knew our tough instructor had such a delicate hobby hiding in his workspace? Instructor Zhang drops a freezing smirk. Everyone's got a little hobby, right? Not to mention, we all have our own little secrets hiding in the dark. Isn't that right? Oh boy. Every single word coming out of this guy's mouth is dripping with massive shady implications. Am I right, student Lu Sheng? The guy with a blood chi value of 0.8. Lu Sheng doesn't even flinch at the call-out, cool as a cucumber. He calmly claps back, explaining that the teacher only asked for his previous test score, so he simply stated the old facts. Nothing to hide here. Instantly, Zhang's face goes dead serious. He aggressively demands to know if our boy has been secretly chugging forbidden blood, chi enhancement drugs. He loudly reminds Lu Sheng that the academy absolutely bans that garbage. Why? Because those shady pills will literally wreck your physical body beyond repair. If he gets caught, the school won't show mercy. Hearing this wild drug accusation, Lu Sheng looks genuinely shocked. Like, seriously? Drugs? He swears on his life he's never touched that forbidden trash. Hearing Lu Sheng's rock-solid, absolutely confident denial, the teacher decides to play his hand. Boom! The instructor flips open a slick case, revealing a glowing blue orb. Time to scan Lu Sheng's current blood, chi value, and expose the truth. Just one touch, and the truth comes out. If he used any sketchy meds, his chi will go totally haywire, and the numbers will spike like a crazy roller coaster. And once the blood chi test is wrapped up, they'll test his raw combat power on that menacing dummy robot standing right over there. If his battle power perfectly matches his chi value, it proves his crazy strength is 100% natural. Time to put up or shut up. Lu Sheng doesn't even hesitate for a second. He accepts the teacher's challenge instantly. Our guy slaps his hand onto the orb. Instantly, brilliant blue light pulses out, rapidly crunching the numbers to reveal his true power level. Wait for it, his chi value shoots straight up to 1.5. The teacher's jaw drops so hard he nearly loses his dentures. Absolutely wild. Zhang just sits there, completely frozen, staring at the screen. 1.5? He realizes this kid has officially reached the level of a level 1 martial artist. An 18-year-old martial artist? Not just in this school, but in the entire Baihe city. That makes him a legit, certified, absolute genius prodigy. Meanwhile, Lu Sheng casually strolls over to the combat robot. He's about to blow this teacher's mind completely out of the stratosphere. Classic Lu Sheng. If he's gonna do it, he's gonna make sure the teacher's eyeballs pop right out of his skull. One gentle tap, that's all he did, and boom, the robot's head goes flying. Zhang can't sit still anymore. He slams the desk, jumping up and screaming his lungs out. What just happened? Now watch this madness. Lu Sheng didn't just wreck the expensive test dummy, he totally obliterated Zhang's precious little bonsai tree in the wild crossfire. From a lush, beautiful leafy masterpiece to a sad, bald twig. Honestly, that tree couldn't look more destroyed if it tried. Tragic. Tears literally stream down Zhang's face. The poor plant's life is over. Our tough guy teacher screams in absolute agony, reaching for his dear, sweet tree. Oh my God, my precious baby. Why did you have to leave me like this? Cue the dramatic weeping. Lu Sheng frantically pries the robot's head out of the wall, looking completely panicked. He apologizes for going too hard, but hey, who forced him to flex his crazy power anyway? Seriously, if the teacher hadn't pushed it, that cute little bonsai would still be alive and thriving today. Hugging his ruined tree, Zhang starts sweating over Lu Sheng's terrifying potential. Sure, that robot was a student-grade model, but honestly, it should have barely survived a direct hit from an official martial artist. The fact it got instantly decapitated is completely insane. The more he stares, the more obvious it gets. This kid's combat power is definitely way beyond just some level 1 martial artist. After the chaos settles down, these two guys just stand there, awkwardly staring at each other. Lu Sheng timidly sits with his legs crossed, waiting for the massive explosion from his teacher. I mean, he just committed a major crime against indoor gardening. The teacher finally speaks up. Didn't you just tell me your previous blood chi score was exactly 0.8? So exactly how long ago was that test? Lu Sheng completely casually drops the bomb. Just half a month ago. This insane answer totally blows the poor teacher's mind even further into orbit. Are you seriously telling me that in just half a month, you jumped from 0.8 chi to entirely surpassing an official martial artist? This is just way too absurdly magical to believe. Zhang aggressively interrogates Lu Sheng. Is he secretly the heir to some elite family, or training under a legendary grandmaster? Because progressing this fast is basically like a freaking cheat code. Lu Sheng awkwardly laughs it off. He explains his background is completely normal, no rich elite families backing him up, and definitely no hidden grandmasters teaching him special tricks. As for the real reason his crazy power leveled up so fast, well, that is a super top secret he just can't reveal to anyone. Zhang falls into super deep thought. Less than a month, and this kid's blood chi has literally almost doubled out of absolutely nowhere. Plus, his combat strength crushes the level 1 standard. Back in his own student days, Zhang thought his own record was pretty darn impressive. He painfully grinded for years to finally break through to level 2 martial artist before proudly joining the military forces. But once he stepped onto the real battlefield, he learned a harsh truth. Regular humans just cannot win against straight-up monsters. It's impossible. Facing that kind of irrational, absurd power makes you realize just how incredibly weak and painfully ordinary normal humans actually are. And the only ones who can actually crush those terrifying beasts? Utterly unbelievable freaks of nature. They are basically anomalies who completely defy all human logic and reason. In other words, they are basically monsters themselves. Thinking too much hurts his head, so Zhang decides to just drop it and not care anymore. The old man leans back, letting out a heavy sigh. I understand. With your insane stats, you completely belong in the elite class with the absolute best instructors. I'll personally make a call to the admin office right now. Lu Sheng practically jumps out of his skin at the words elite class. He politely thanks the guy for the offer, but hits him with a hard pass on joining. Because honestly, even top-tier teachers can't beat the insane leveling speed he gets from grinding inside his dream space. Zheng Zhengguo is absolutely baffled by the rejection. You don't need it? But for a monster talent like you, the Academy will literally throw everything they have at supporting you. If you hit any roadblocks during training and need resources, seriously, just name your price. Well, since the teacher offered, our boy drops all his modesty and shamelessly lays out his demands. Since you're offering, I'll take two things. First, I want the max martial arts scholarship, and second, I want total freedom to skip regular classes whenever I feel like it. Zheng Guo actually agrees to this wild deal. He promises to lock down a premium scholarship for our guy, cashing in at roughly 30,000 bucks. He'll handle the admin office regarding the class attendance. The only catch? That fat scholarship money will take about 2 days to fully process. But obviously, we absolutely cannot let our MC's training schedule get delayed. So, the teacher pulls out a black card like a total boss. Take this for now. Just pay me back whenever you're finally rolling in cash. Lu Sheng happily snatches it up. A martial arts black card holds at least 100 grand. That completely wipes the floor with the basic scholarship money anyway. Thanks a ton, Teacher Zhang. The old man laughs it off. Just keep training hard, kid. I expect you to bring serious glory to our academy. All right, get back to class now. With that completely sorted, Lu Sheng turns around and happily dips right out of the office. The exact second the door clicks shut, this teacher bursts into absolute hysterical laughter. To think our Baihe Academy scored a total monster under 18 with the sheer power of a Tier 2 martial artist. We gotta hide him until the big joint exams. He'll be our ultimate secret weapon to completely traumatize the rival schools. Wow. Turns out this old teacher loves flexing on the haters just as much as anyone else. After finishing his little villain monologue, he suddenly remembers he actually needs to report this insane news upstairs. But honestly, Zhengguo's wild ambitions are way bigger than just winning some random local high school tournament. After years of waiting, they might finally have a student capable of reaching that legendary place. Anyway, let's cut over to a bustling supermarket. A sales rep is currently hyping up a brand new energy tonic from the local pharmacy brand. Apparently, once your vitality stats hit 0.8, chugging this stuff is the absolute best way to solidify your power. Plus, it's a special formula custom-made just for the female fighters. And the massive sale price? A cool 30 grand. The rich mom immediately yells at the cashier to box that bad boy up right now. The daughter happily hugs her mom's arm, swearing that with this premium juice, she's absolutely crushing the upcoming mock exams and taking first place in her grade. Our boy Lu Sheng watches them walk away, doing some heavy mental math. 30 grand for one tiny bottle of stat-boosting liquid? Absolutely insane. His poor parents work themselves to the bone just to afford a cheap 3,000 buck potion. Bottom line, stronger fighters can make way more cash. And when you have those fat stacks of cash, you just buy even better stats. It's just a completely brutal pay-to-win system for broke kids. He thinks about his little sister Qinghe. She is the real, undeniable genius of the entire family. She possesses enough natural talent to completely flip her own destiny, but sadly, she got dragged down by her deadweight brother, forced to split their pathetic lack of resources. In his past life, he hated being a complete nobody, but he was too lazy to actually grind for a better future. So he just coasted through life like a total boring NPC. Two random students stroll past, loudly bragging about their epic gaming session. The guy with the bowl cut is acting super cocky. I literally carried your trash stats to gold rank today. Watch this absolute pro swordsman slash everything up. His buddy, clearly a sheltered nerd getting carried by an internet cafe addict for the first time, is looking at him like he's an absolute gaming god. Lu Sheng just stares at these two goofballs, and suddenly, it hits him like a massive truck. Most fighters in this crazy world thirst for pure power. Yet here he was, hiding in video games, desperately clinging to cozy memories of his past life. It's exactly like pathetic little fish dreaming of jumping into the wild, infinite ocean, but way too terrified to leave their safe, boring, and comfortable little puddle. But honestly, whatever. That was the old him. Right now, the entire game has completely changed. Our boy finally jumped out of that sad fishbowl and saw the massive world waiting for him. The universe literally handed him a cheat code to rewrite his destiny. In this insane second playthrough, he knows exactly what to do. No more wrong choices, no more being a weak NPC. He stares up into the sky, absolutely buzzing with raw ambition and totally crazy hope. Suddenly, something clicks deep inside his brain. His eyes fly wide open, and his physical body starts glowing with that super familiar leveling up energy. Oh, he totally gets it now. His brain just fast downloaded a massive chunk of combat memories, instantly upgrading his battle IQ in a fraction of a second. The bottleneck holding back his punching technique completely shattered. From here on out, he's turning these recycled martial arts into his own personal, overpowered weapons. Our boy Lu Sheng clenches his fist, absolutely determined. On this crazy new path of his, he has just taken another massive game-changing step forward. He thinks about his family, his little sister, and his parents. Then, he makes a hardcore promise to himself. He won't stop grinding until he's insanely strong, ready to grab absolutely everything he has ever wanted in this crazy world. Cut to his next dream training session. A ragged zombie with half its teeth missing lunges right at Lu Sheng, trying to take a bite. But spoiler alert, it fails miserably. Lu Sheng is so ridiculously overpowered now that just one casual swing of his arm sends these amateur zombies flying hundreds of meters away. This undead dude eats exactly one punch, completely faceplants into the dirt, and can't even lift its ugly head to fight back. Pathetic. After crushing it, Lu Sheng actually starts complaining. I mean, seriously? This guy was clearly a martial artist before turning into a zombie, and even as a brainless corpse, it was still trying to use actual fighting techniques. Boom, target neutralized, and right on cue, the zombie's leftover memories instantly flow straight into Lu Sheng's brain. Thanks to those stolen memories, he realizes that base 1359, the exact place he's been searching for, is sitting right in front of him. He squints into the distance. This massive base must have been completely wrecked by that creepy black fog and the endless, totally insane wave of monster beasts from before. Even the stray beasts out here look totally bizarre. And hey, speak of the devil, here comes the welcome committee. Literally right on cue, a bunch of freaky mutts dash out, flashing their absurdly perfectly white teeth as they sprint straight at our boy. But they barely make it half a step before getting beaten so hard they can't even cry. With the trash cleared out, the view finally opens up. As those ugly things hit the ground, base 1359 finally reveals itself in all its glory. He actually found it, guys. What used to be a super gorgeous city now stretches out before his eyes, completely devastated and ruined. But check this out, the whole place is surrounded by an insanely thick, solid defense wall. Lu Sheng just casually slides down through a giant hole in that wall to get inside the city. Only when he hits the ground do you realize how gigantic this wall actually is. Seriously, standing next to it, Lu Sheng looks like a tiny ant staring down an elephant. He can't help but be amazed. What a ridiculously massive wall. But wait, he just got inside the city limits. Where the heck is the actual military base hiding? At this point, he thinks that even if some stupidly huge giant monster just casually popped out, he honestly wouldn't even be surprised by this place anymore. Our guy keeps exploring this creepy ghost town, and let me tell you, the deeper he walks, the wilder the surprises get. This wall is like 20 meters thick. You and I both have to wonder what kind of absolute nightmare war could actually smash through a base of this epic scale. Thinking about it just makes it crazier. Whether it's insane martial arts or their wild level of high-tech development, this dream world is absolutely miles ahead of his own reality. Yet somehow, a super advanced, ridiculously strong civilization like this still got completely crushed and wiped out by the claws of savage beasts. So what does that mean for the future of his own world? Suddenly, Lu Sheng spots a building that totally stands out from the rest of the boring ruins. With architecture like that, it has to be the military base or the main command center. Right in the middle of the structure is a massive, gaping hole, clearly blasted open by some heavy attack. Looking closer, there is actually someone just chilling in the corner like a creepy statue. Dude totally looks like a crusty old zombie. Before our guy can even blink or figure things out, a blast of mysterious, invisible energy slams right into him, leaving him zero time to even try fighting back. And just like that, Lu Sheng faceplants hard. He has no clue what hit him. That creepy guy in the corner literally just used a mental shockwave to totally scramble our hero's brain. Seriously, who the heck is this guy packing such terrifying power? But hey, if Lu Sheng can actually beat him, the level up is going to be absolutely insane. But first, just to keep his head attached to his neck, he better stay away from that nightmare. He tosses that greedy dream aside for now and refocuses on finding his actual target. First things first, he needs to scope out the area. The whole block is just filled with these dumb zombies stumbling around. The city isn't scary at all. These chumps are basically at toddler-level strength. Poke them once, and they totally fall over. Lu Sheng hops down and kindly gifts each of them a swift kick to the face, sending them rolling like bowling pins. Imagine being human and getting bitten, only to become a zombie that can't bite anyone, and instead just gets kicked around by humans all day. Honestly, the real victims here are these clueless zombies who don't even know what's hitting them. After clearing the trash, our boy gracefully leaps right up onto the nearby wall. When he finally steps into a random apartment, there's zero sign of any annoying zombies, which actually catches him totally off guard. But wow, this place looks like a total garbage dump. Poking around, Lu Sheng figures out that this family was probably just eating dinner when the apocalypse suddenly crashed the party. The bowls and chopsticks are literally still sitting on the table, and surprisingly, the windows don't even have a single scratch on them. He starts getting super suspicious. Is it possible that every normal person hit by that weird black fog just vanished without turning into zombies here? He whips his head around, and boom, a weird, round gadget glowing with this cool blue light instantly grabs his total attention. Super curious, he slaps his hand on it just to see if the old junk still works. The second he touches it, a whole bunch of flashy lights start dancing wildly, and boom, out pops a gorgeous girl wearing a seriously breezy outfit. Lu Sheng's eyes practically bulge out of his skull as he guesses this is some ultra-realistic 3D virtual reality hologram. Glowing text starts popping up on the machine. And hold up, Lu Sheng instantly realizes this gadget is actually using his exact own language. Oh man, is someone setting a trap for us? Lu Sheng starts totally freaking out because the language in this lost dream world perfectly matches his own reality. Alright, you and I are diving into some wild sci-fi madness. Our guy seriously suspects this high-tech device is just a fancy automatic translator for modern users. Classic. The machine starts yapping. It introduces itself as a tech product from Tianheng, a fully integrated artificial intelligence supported by a 16th-generation optical brain named Yi. Basically a super smart robotic assistant. This little AI girl is totally in charge of managing the base server network, 1359. Lu Sheng is absolutely mind-blown. Future tech is just insane. He casually calls out for Yi, then straight up demands the machine to show him the absolute latest news from the past week. The machine takes the command, pretends to scan the data connection for a hot second, and boom, it spits out a massive pile of super important information. Out of all that crazy news, the one thing that completely hooks Lu Sheng is a level 10 martial artist. Oh, and it is the year 11,024. He starts thinking hard. If the power scaling of this world matches his own, it is literally impossible to imagine just how insanely high their martial arts development has reached. We are talking next-level power here. Suddenly, a massive, terrifying dragon pops up right in front of Lu Sheng. It lunges forward, looking completely ready to destroy absolutely everything. Even though it is just recorded footage, the sheer terror of it makes Lu Sheng freeze up in pure panic. Seriously, the martial arts and technology in this crazy world are just terrifyingly advanced. They have leveled up at a speed so ridiculous he cannot even wrap his head around it. But here is the brutal truth. Level 10 martial arts or massive, unbreakable city walls? Beneath the dark shadows and razor-sharp claws of those mutant beasts, absolutely nothing could be protected. It got so insanely bad that some people literally abandoned their entire home planet. They packed up and sent a massive search team on an epic interstellar trip, desperately hunting for a second livable planet. But sadly, on the exact day human civilization completely collapsed, they did not leave behind a single piece of good news to cheer anyone up. Total bummer. Lu Sheng slumps into a chair, quietly thinking to himself. So, Earth still could not escape its ultimate doom after all. He feels totally gutted. Such a ridiculously powerful and glorious civilization, and it could not even survive to keep growing. What a tragic waste. Once he gets comfortable in his seat, Lu Sheng orders Yi to pull up the complete history of the world. Yi takes the command and instantly goes hunting for world history data. Just like that, in a flash, Lu Sheng gets all the juicy information he was desperately asking for. He watches and thinks super hard. A world this insanely powerful still totally failed to escape a completely apocalyptic ending. Now, here is where you and I need to pay close attention. He wants to study their history to actually learn from their massive mistakes. Then, he can totally save his own world from suffering the exact same horrible fate. The news panel kicks off, narrating the dark history of the world. Year 1 of the Martial Calendar. Massive, terrifying rifts randomly tore open across the entire globe, spitting out an endless swarm of alien creatures. By martial year 34, the ancient dragon nation birthed the world's very first internal energy martial artist. That same year, the Global Martial Alliance was officially established. The more Lu Sheng listens, the more he sweats absolute bullets. Wait a minute. Isn't this exact crazy lore the history of his own damn world? Lu Sheng looks down, completely lost in thought. So that is how it is. Having the exact same language and martial arts power tiers is definitely not just some random, lucky coincidence. Everything he just watched was not the destruction of some random alternate universe. Nope, it is literally the dark future of his own world, 10,000 years later. But then, Lu Sheng suddenly gets hit with a massive brain blast. He realizes he might be jumping the gun here. It might not actually be the same world. This could just be a super weird coincidence, or maybe a parallel universe. Panicking a bit, Lu Sheng quickly calls out to Yi, asking if he can search for a specific human's data, and the guy he desperately wants to look up, himself? Super fast, Yi gives Lu Sheng the exact answer he was looking for. Boom. The glowing screen suddenly pops up, showing 36 different results for Lu Sheng. He cannot believe it. There is actually real historical data about him. But plot twist. The data brutally states he only lives until he is 28, dying as a completely average nobody. And his relationship status? Tragically single forever, with literally zero romantic prospects. Big yikes. His historical rating is a flat 0. After looking himself up and getting roasted, Lu Sheng absolutely cannot just sit still anymore. He suddenly remembers he needs to check on his little sister. He barks another command at Ai Yi, telling her to search for March 299 for someone named Lu Qinghe. But shocker, when it comes to Qinghe, Ai Yi does not have enough access rights. The system loudly warns that a guest user cannot access this martial artist's secure files. It demands a genetic blood sample right now to create a verified user profile. Lu Sheng stares blankly at his own hands. They want a blood sample? How the heck is he supposed to provide that here? Shouldn't there at least be a medical syringe, or literally anything useful hidden inside that weird giant machine? Come on now. Before he even figures out what to do, Ai Yi sneaks right up close to Lu Sheng. She shuts her eyes super tight and literally just bites down hard on his finger. The crazy realistic sensation, plus a cute AI girl suddenly getting that touchy-feely, makes Lu Sheng blush absolutely bright red. After Ai Yi puts in some serious effort, the required drops of blood finally appear right on his bitten hand. The robotic system chimes in, announcing the blood sampling is totally complete and is currently testing. The whole dramatic process is totally over, but Lu Sheng still cannot shake off his incredibly awkward blushing. He thinks to himself, future people really do not play around. Even if she is just a fake holographic character, why does her bite feel so insanely real? So what do you and I expect next? Suddenly, Ai Yi's projection starts glitching out, and her whole facial expression completely changes. The holographic text popping up right now isn't the usual chill blue anymore, it is flashing a massive, warning red. You and I are about to witness history, because the official Spark project is kicking off. It starts linking up with Fireseed Library resource number 1359. Connection successful. And boom, Lu Sheng's authority levels are fully unlocked. Our boy Lu Sheng is standing there, scratching his head, wondering what a Fireseed actually is. Could it be some crazy sci-fi plan to ditch Earth and find a brand new world? The glowing screen suddenly pulls up Lu Sheng's personal info. The stats staring back at him, they look completely different from what he originally got. His entire life profile is finally displayed in full detail right in front of him. It hits Lu Sheng like a truck. His future has completely changed. The data panel isn't that basic garbage from before. His martial arts power level in this timeline actually reached a solid Tier 4 martial artist. His user authority got bumped up to level 2, and his life experiences look way more packed. He apparently graduated from Baihe Academy in Baihe City, flexing as the absolute #1 in his school and ranking 23rd in the entire city. After that epic run, he officially enrolled straight into Wuhan Baihe University. After crushing college, he formally joined the military zone and eventually ended up serving his time over in the Tiananmen military district. But hey, one thing didn't really change from the old profile. Our boy Lu Sheng still kicks the bucket way too early. The only difference? This time he bites it at age 37. He is still embarrassingly single, but his historical rating somehow jumped from absolute 0 to 2 stars. Lu Sheng is absolutely stunned. Does getting stronger right now mean his entire future timeline rewrites itself? He can't believe his own eyes, so he frantically digs through the AI's data again. But according to that massive database, his life trajectory before turning 18 is exactly the same as what is playing out right now. Even his sudden power spike right before the college entrance exam is perfectly recorded in the logs. But honestly, against the massive, heavy weight of human history, his little personal shockwave doesn't even count as a tiny ripple. In the absolutely massive database of humanity, there is no such thing as a genius. Lu Sheng just chuckles. Over 10,000 years of history, the world has seen way too many uncounted geniuses. Leaving a name in history? That is reserved for a lucky few. But wait, this system data definitely has some serious flaws. The data claims Lu Sheng's blood chi hits 2012 by the entrance exams, with a recorded combat power index of exactly 257. But if we ignore his cheat space, just relying on his current physical training speed, using basic breathing methods and burning through his normal resources, taking well over 200 days to hit those exact numbers would be totally normal. But here is the thing. If Lu Sheng adds his dream sword, his actual results should blast way past those weak numbers. The hilarious idea of only ranking 23rd in the city is just completely unacceptable to him. Seriously, he didn't even make it onto the national ranking list. Our guy Lu Sheng isn't going to take that sitting down. Stick with me, because his name is definitely going to be famous worldwide. Lu Sheng's eyes lock in with pure determination. There is no way his future ends up being this incredibly mid. If he keeps getting ridiculously stronger, he can actually rewrite tomorrow entirely. Let's be real, human civilization definitely cannot just casually march straight into total extinction like this. Lu Sheng clenches his fist tight. Oh yeah, he is absolutely going to shatter this timeline and flip the entire script. Snap back to reality. Lu Sheng's mom is currently setting the table, getting breakfast ready for the kids. Seeing Lu Sheng just casually chilling in his pajamas, she gets totally confused. Little Sheng, why aren't you dressed yet? Are you seriously skipping school today? Lu Sheng just peels a steamed bun in his hand and casually replies, My teacher gave me permission to self-study at home from now on. No more classes. His mom and his sister Qing, he both think this sounds incredibly sketchy, especially Qing He. They literally go to the exact same school, and she has never once heard of a stay-at-home option. Her big brother is seriously getting weirder by the day. Lu Sheng finishes eating, completely stuffed, and stands up to leave. All right, I'm heading back to my room to train. Seeing her son suddenly turning into a total tryhard lately, his mom is super hyped about the change. She actually rushes him back to his room to keep practicing. Go on, keep up that fiery passion. Qing, he just frowns, staring suspiciously at Lu Sheng's back as he walks away. Lately, she really feels like Lu Sheng is changing way too fast. He completely ditched that goofy loser vibe from before. Now, he is just acting all calm and mysteriously edgy. The absolute second Lu Sheng hits his room, his phone starts ringing on the desk. No points for guessing this one, it is almost definitely Teacher Zhang calling him. Lu Sheng picks up the phone, and bingo, spot on. The teacher is calling to let our guy know his scholarship money has finally dropped, and he can swing by the school this afternoon to grab it. Lu Sheng politely thanks his teacher, but the teacher obviously doesn't forget to interrogate him about attendance. Right, why exactly aren't you at school today? Don't we need to discuss your class schedule? Before the poor guy can even finish his sentence, Lu Sheng straight up cuts him off, flatly stating his time is running out and he can't waste it anymore. He claims it is super inconvenient to explain right now, telling the teacher to hit him up later. Then he just hangs up immediately. Boom. All right, you and me? We're skipping the boring intro. Lu Sheng officially has zero time to worry about being too awesome and making everybody else insanely jealous. He needs to train hard, flex those crazy talents, and casually drop everybody's jaws straight to the floor. More talent equals more resources, classic power logic, right? So, our guy literally pictures himself standing right up on a massive mountain. He has to sprint to the top at breakneck speed, and then figure out how to rewrite a totally doomed future. Cut to the dreamscape. Lu Sheng steps up and directly orders his system AI to pull up his user privileges. He wants a full search, every single cultivation method, martial arts insight, and hidden record. The AI goes into absolute overdrive, practically sweating code to search the database. Boom. It spits out a ridiculous 465,715 results. Staring at that massive wall of data, Lu Sheng literally feels like suffocating. So he barks another order. Filter out the absolute best methods for level 1 beginners and only keep the high-tier, ultra-valuable stuff. The system runs a second sweep. Restricting the search range to level 1 noobs drops the pile down to 34,521 results. After sorting all that mess and pulling the absolute top-tier matches, it narrows down to just 3 flawless options. Literally the 3 greatest cultivation techniques from the last 10,000 years. First up, Stellar Body Refining Art. Made by Wang Hang, a level 10 powerhouse, and locked straight into the top-secret Tinder plan. Next is the Natural Breathing Method. Forged by a level 11 absolute monster named Yang Yidan, also saved in the plan. And finally, the Crystal Visualization Method, cooked up by another level 11 legend, Duan Yifeng. Lu Sheng instantly blanks. Level 11? Those guys are basically walking gods. In his timeline, the strongest fighter hasn't even cracked level 9. Seeing level 11 stuff here is just totally absurd and insane. Even though these are just the beginner entry-level versions, they are insanely valuable. We're talking priceless, endgame level knowledge completely locked inside the Tinder plan for safekeeping. Looks like those Martial Alliance heavyweights totally predicted this dark future. They knew they couldn't win, so they basically dumped all their elite skills into a time capsule, hoping some future kid could finally finish this crazy Tinder plan. But plot twist, they completely missed the mark. It wasn't their descendants who found it, it was Lu Sheng. But anyway, time to focus. He came here to grind and level up. He kicks things off with Stellar Body Refining, turning his body into a literal mini-universe. One hand clenches into a fist, the other rests flat against his chest. Step 1, clear the mind, and keep that spirit locked inward. This hardcore process of refining blood and toughening the soul is going to hit every single cell. Every single cell transforms into a superpowered planet, making the blood flowing in his veins look like actual glowing galaxies. His insides literally become a star system. When a martial artist hits peak density, their raw strength and defense basically go completely off the charts. Blood energy burning like stars, flowing like rivers. After that insane workout, Lu Sheng is absolutely drenched in sweat. He thinks back to all the basic moves he practiced earlier. If his old training scored a 1 on the effectiveness scale, this stellar body art easily hits 1,000, or maybe even way higher. Even though, not gonna lie, starting out it just looks like regular gym exercises. Whatever. Time to crush the next lesson, the natural breathing method. Lu Sheng closes his eyes and takes it for a test drive. He takes one massive breath, and instantly, 1,000 flames seem to erupt around him. Finishing the cycle, he literally feels like he swallowed a bonfire. Countless flames roaring inside, his core temperature skyrocketing straight to the danger zone. And that was just the very first breathing technique. There are so many more insane elemental attributes waiting for him. Finally, it's time for the big boss, the crystal visualization method. This move completely sharpens the mind and maxes out raw willpower. This involves the most mysterious energy in all of martial arts. Liu Sheng sits down, crossing his legs to give it a real shot. This technique is purely for leveling up mental energy. Suddenly, a wild blue light starts glowing, completely wrapping around his entire body. In just a blink, our boy gets sucked into his own private dimension. Yep, welcome to his actual spiritual world. Inside, he spots another version of himself just chilling in his pants, hugging his knees with his eyes squeezed shut like a frightened kid. Mental willpower is absolutely everything in martial arts. A true fighter needs an ironclad mind, completely wiped of any stray, distracting thoughts. Whether it's raw combat strength or leveling speed, they will totally crush anyone with a weak, easily distracted mindset. But after wandering around, poking and prodding everything for a solid minute, Liu Sheng still has absolutely zero clue how to actually train this thing. Finally, he just lets out a massively annoyed sigh, stares at his frozen statue self, and completely throws in the towel for now. Looks like that's a problem for future Liu Sheng. Wrapping up today's crazy session, he finally slowly opens his eyes. He wakes up, gasping for air like he just ran a marathon. Training in your sleep sounds chill, right? Wrong. The exhaustion hits him like a freight train, way too real for a dream. And hold on, what is that awful smell? Liu Sheng looks down at his arm. Oh, gross. He is covered in layers of pure, unadulterated filth. Literally couldn't get any dirtier. Imagine if a cute girl walked in right now. Absolute nightmare. Our boy would literally die of embarrassment on the spot. He stares at his hands, admiring the gross results of his hardcore dream workout. Yep, that black sludge is definitely all the impurities sweating right out of his system. So, leveling up in Dreamland actually upgrades your real-life body? That is absolutely insane. This whole setup is way beyond anything he ever imagined. But first, a shower. He desperately needs it. Who knew those epic stellar breathing techniques would literally squeeze the garbage right out of his pores? Wild stuff. Fresh and clean, Liu Sheng grabs a bottle from the desk, thinking hard. His power is skyrocketing lately. Once he secures that sweet scholarship cash tomorrow, he can completely bankroll his next insane training phase. Look at what he is holding. That is a priceless recipe from 10,000 years in the future. It will not just boost his stats, it is going to completely break the modern medical world. Just thinking about the epic payback makes our guy smirk like a supervillain. Cut to White River Academy. Our boy is officially on campus, completely ready to claim that glorious scholarship money. Getting him to actually attend class takes forever. But tell him there is free money? The kid turns into absolute lightning. Teacher Zhang sees him casually appear out of thin air and immediately starts complaining. At least give me a heads up next time you show up. Liu Sheng just hits him with that perfect, polite honor student act. My bad, sir. Sorry for the trouble. The teacher sighs, giving up on the lecture, and basically just tells our guy to scram if he has better things to do. Just make sure you show your face here at least once a week, all right? You cannot keep ghosting the entire academy like some kind of rebellious phantom. Liu Sheng drops a completely fake, obedient, yes sir, then immediately bolts out the door. Watching him walk away, the teacher is just confused. It has only been 2 days, but he feels like he does not even recognize his own student anymore. The kid is radiating this crazy, mysterious aura now. Good luck trying to figure out what is going on inside his head. Walking home, Liu Sheng's brain is already working overtime. He desperately needs to fix his whole low energy, weak vitality problem, and fast. He finally has cash in his pockets and a ridiculously overpowered recipe from the future. Doing a DIY science project to brew his own custom supplements is absolutely the smartest play here. He mentally pulls up that insane formula he unlocked from the future knowledge database last time. For right here and right now, his best bet is crafting the spirit blood potion and the marrow nourishing pill. Sounds epic, right? But let us get real for a second. Even the most basic potion needs some serious high-tech lab equipment. Mess up the heat or the measurements even a tiny bit, and the whole thing explodes in your face. What our guy really needs is a pro-tier mixing lab, but building one from scratch? Total joke. His fresh scholarship money is nowhere near enough to cover that kind of insane flex. He stops and stares at the giant pharmacy right ahead. Since he cannot afford his own super lab, maybe he can just smooth talk his way into renting their gear for a bit? Plot twist, life is not that easy. The owner instantly shoots him down. Are you kidding me, kid? The mixing lab is highly classified territory. You think you can just wander in and steal our secret family recipes? Do I look like an idiot to you? Boom! The grumpy guy slams the door right in his face, totally kicking our hero to the curb. Yeah, that makes 7 pharmacies in a row that have literally chased him away. So much for the genius rental plan. He looks down at his ridiculously heavy backpack. He already bought every single rare ingredient for the epic blood potion. Heck, he even bought extra supplies just to be super safe. Then he checks his shiny new bank card. Teacher Zong originally promised 30,000, but get this, the card is actually loaded with a massive 80,000. The old teacher probably realized 30 grand was totally pathetic and hooked his best student up. Lu Sheng keeps walking, lost in his thoughts. And before he even notices, he wanders right into a super sketchy abandoned neighborhood. He is just debating buying some cheap trash online to test things out, when suddenly, bam, another random pharmacy spawns right in front of him. 18 whole years living in this exact city, and he never once knew a random drugstore was hiding out in the middle of this creepy wasteland. He pushes the door open to step inside. The owner? Totally ignoring him, just blasting loud music in his own world, completely checked out of doing any actual customer service. This blonde dude with 3 stripes buzzed into his head just blindly yells to go grab whatever and bring it to the register. Lu Sheng tries to explain that he is definitely not here to buy basic meds, but before he can even finish, the guy cuts him off completely. He literally could not care less about his customer. Do not even think about shoplifting in here, kid. I have high-definition cameras everywhere. Lu Sheng just frowns, staring hard at this completely clueless punk across the counter. Literally every other fancy pharmacy he went to today, at least, pretended to be polite and asked what he wanted, even right before they aggressively kicked him out the door. But this guy? He acts like making money is a massive chore. The whole trashy vibe instantly gets under Lu Sheng's skin. All right, you and I are about to witness pure karma. This blonde dude is busy drooling over TikTok dancers, grinning like an absolute idiot, totally clueless that the guy standing right in front of him is about to serve a brutal reality check. If he keeps acting like a clown, Lu Sheng slams his hand right over the phone. Peak mood ruined. The blonde guy instantly jumps up, foaming at the mouth and looking ready to throw hands, basically screaming, "Do you have a totally massive death wish, bro?" But his tough guy act doesn't even last one single second. Lu Sheng just leans in, and boom, blonde dude instantly powers down and shuts his mouth tight. Unless he wants to be eating baby food through a straw forever. Now the panic sets in. Sweating bullets, the guy nervously asks what Lu Sheng actually wants. Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng keeps up that absolute boss energy, slams the table and asks, "I am just here for one thing. Does your pharmacy have a proper medicine brewing room?" The cashier is practically pale as a ghost, but he still tries to act tough and asks, "What if we do, and what if we don't?" Suddenly, Lu Sheng does a total 180. He flashes a bright, friendly smile and says that if they do, he wants to discuss a little business deal with him. The guy totally caves and leads Lu Sheng straight to the pharmacy's brewing room. But right before they go inside, he blocks the door to make things perfectly clear. He gives Lu Sheng a strict 3 hours max. He tries to add another annoying condition, but Lu Sheng totally cuts him off, smoothly whipping out a card and casually saying, "You want payment up front, right?" Seeing the cash, the blonde dude's eyes practically shoot lasers. He eagerly invites Lu Sheng in, basically worshipping the ground he walks on. "Make yourself at home, man." Haha, classic. Once inside, our boy snaps on his gloves and throws on a lab coat, looking super professional for his very first brewing session. It really is his first time cooking up potions like this. Step 1 of this wild chemistry class? Prepping the raw materials. Lu Sheng casually holds a glowing, mutated green lizard. First, he peels off its scales while it's totally alive. Then, he dumps in a neutralizer, dialing the potion to 35% concentration at a perfectly stable temperature. Next up, moonstone condensation. He uses a literal laser to perfectly tweak the visible light radiation, splitting the raw ingredients into 2 very distinct forms, flowing in pure liquid. After that, he collects the wild mix and quickly freezes it down. Finally, he chops up 30 grams of some totally rock-hard, mutated spring tree roots. But dosage control is absolutely critical here. The prepped materials go through intense sequence conditioning. He carefully fine-tunes the medicinal properties, mixing everything together exactly based on the crazy specific reaction ratios in order. And boom! He finally gets the spirit blood fortifying potion. Lu Sheng holds up this insane galaxy pink liquid. Behold, the epic fruits of his labor. Huge success. Nobody could believe he actually nailed it on the very first try. This is literal future medicine from 1,000 years ahead. But honestly, you and I won't know if it really worked until he actually chugs the thing. Down the hatch! Lu Sheng absolutely chugs his shiny new potion in one single gulp, but afterward, he feels absolutely zero special effects, not even a weird taste or anything. He starts doubting himself. Did the epic experiment actually fail? But right as he thinks that, his body suddenly starts going crazy. Lu Sheng drops to the floor, lets out a massive scream, and then just completely collapses in pure exhaustion. He absolutely never expected this crazy level of pure potency. In just seconds, it totally refilled the chi and blood he lost from leveling up way too fast recently, with even more insane power to spare. The absolute fact that it works this perfectly well without completely frying his insides? Completely unbelievable. Lu Sheng is literally mind-blown by this insane result. And get this wild fact. The fortifying potion is not just insanely strong, it literally acts like high-end elite skincare, boosting skin elasticity and totally shrinking pores. This is straight up 10,000 years of pure, distilled martial arts wisdom packed right in here. While he's totally vibing with his shiny new success, someone starts violently banging on the door. Lu Sheng opens the door to totally complain. Time's not even up. Why are you pounding on it? But the blonde guy is basically crying in absolute, total panic. There is absolutely no time to explain. Run out the back door right now. The actual boss of this place just came back. Meanwhile, outside, a super gorgeous, extremely wealthy woman in a killer outfit casually strolls right into the shop. Yep, that blonde cashier is about to get so incredibly massively busted. She carries a box full of test tubes glowing in every color: red, blue, purple, yellow, pink, and gray. She knocks back a blue one to test the vibe, but instantly looks more disappointed than a kid getting socks for Christmas. Trash. Absolute trash. The reaction is pathetically low. The medicinal properties are barely doing anything. She looks so incredibly helpless right now. Martial arts and the massive medical field are both leveling up at absolutely crazy speeds these days. Every single day, better formulas drop, and the old stuff gets tossed in the garbage. By the way, she's the young miss of the powerful He family. The He family is actually crashing super hard lately because they're stuck in the past, ridiculously stubborn, and completely allergic to any new modern ideas. All their pharmacy formulas are literally hundreds of years old. In today's insanely cutthroat market, they basically have zero chance of surviving against the modern competition. If she doesn't magically score a fresh new formula as soon as possible, the massive business that her dad personally handed down to her is going straight to the abs. Thinking about this nightmare makes Miss He grit her teeth in pure frustration. But since she can't research this stuff herself, her only move is to go team up with some cranky old potion master. Alright, you and I need to talk about this new formula from Old Man Zhang. She absolutely needed it. The whole Ha family's comeback literally depends on this moment. Just as Miss Ha walks in, that blonde guy finally shoves Lu Sheng out. He scrambles over to greet the boss. Miss Ha, wait, weren't you supposed to be at the market today? But Miss Ha? Total absolute ignore. She angrily marches straight past him and storms right into the potion mixing room. Meanwhile, Blondie looks terrified, but internally, he is absolutely down bad, completely captivated by her with zero way out. In his hopelessly romantic eyes, Miss Ha is the peak of elegance. Gorgeous aura, stunning looks, absolute perfection, no debate. She is his ultimate goddess. This dude is literally standing there daydreaming about a house, a white picket fence, and 3 little kids. Just as his delusion hits peak romantic comedy, a sudden, furious scream aggressively yanks him right back to reality. Ma Fei, did you seriously sneak someone into my private potion room while I was gone? Still totally lost in the sauce. This guy mutters that she looks pretty when she is mad. Yeah, that makes her practically explode with absolute rage. Ma Fei tries to stutter out some pathetic excuses, but she has zero time for this nonsense. She slaps her forehead in disbelief and kicks him out immediately. Whatever, just do not bother coming in tomorrow. Standing alone in her lab, she looks like she really wants to punch someone. She chucks the lab coat Lu Sheng just wore straight into the trash, angrily scrubbing the room while violently cursing. Why? Because now every single test tube needs a wash and a super annoying decontamination scrub. The deeper she cleans, the more junk she finds. But then, a box holding a mutated blue lizard catches her eye. Someone actually used activation gas on this lizard? That is some seriously expensive hardware right there. But catching herself, she figures it is probably just her own wishful thinking acting up. That random guy was probably just pretending to be some genius scientist. Real research takes insane pharmacological knowledge. She scoffs. Lu Sheng does not even own a lab. Is he seriously daydreaming about becoming a billionaire overnight? Total amateur hour. But hey, looking in the mirror, she realizes she is also throwing her hopes onto completely impossible dreams right now. Finally clearing the table, she glances down. Great. A shattered test tube right on the floor. Utterly defeated, she groans. Sneaking into someone's private lab and stealing tools is bad enough, but casually smashing equipment just for the fun of it? She bends down to grab the broken glass. Wait. Something feels incredibly wrong here. The texture of this leaked potion. That smell. Is that moon tranquil stone mixed with petrified spring scent root? She has never seen anyone combine these two ever. Dipping a finger in, she casually tastes a drop. Boom. The reaction is totally beyond human imagination. Meanwhile, our tragic hero Ma Fei drags his suitcase away, completely rejected by his goddess. He sighs deeply. That punk Lu Sheng ruined him, totally not worth the pocket change. Who knew a few bucks would permanently shatter his grand romance with his beautiful boss? Looking back at the pharmacy like a dramatic soap opera star, he literally begs the heavens. Please, big guy upstairs, let me see her just one more time. Talk about instant karma, speak of the devil, and she literally appears. Ma Fei spots Miss Ha sprinting frantically toward him, waving her hands like a crazy person. Ma Fei, stop! Do not go anywhere. Hearing her desperate voice, his eyes well up with happy tears. He literally chucks his suitcase into the dirt and sprints back. I knew you secretly loved me. I will never leave you, my beautiful, amazing boss. You are my one and only eternal sanctuary. He spreads his arms wide for a romantic slow-motion hug, but nope, she grabs him by the collar and violently screams, "Who the heck was inside my lab earlier? I need to see him right now." She shakes him so hard his soul literally leaves his body. She offers him the ultimate deal, find Lu Sheng, and not only does he keep his precious job, but she is doubling his salary on the spot. Barely conscious, Ma Fei miraculously manages to choke out that he actually has Lu Sheng's number. Her eyes light up like she struck pure gold. She snatches his phone immediately and violently tosses the poor guy right back into the corner. Heavens above, you have no idea how badly she absolutely needs this guy. That junk potion he made? It boosts blood vitality 10 times better than the stuff selling for 100 grand on the open market today. Plus, testing it out, it literally works as a beauty serum, whitens skin, and builds muscle. And the absolute kicker? The ingredients are super basic. Total cost? Less than 5,000 yuan. This could literally change the entire world. Shaking with excitement, she instantly dials Lu Sheng's number. She finally found the absolute genius she had been searching for. This right here is the ultimate golden ticket for her whole family. Meanwhile, Lu Sheng is busy sweating it out, bursting with fresh energy. That stellar body refinement technique is seriously no joke, a legit level 11 skill from the future. You and I cannot even begin to imagine the kind of crazy human potential this thing unlocks. If he keeps grinding like this, his physical body might actually forge an entire living star. And get this, the natural breathing technique? Absolute magic. It packs a seriously insane power boost. Without pairing this ridiculous breathing method, his body refining technique wouldn't be half as cracked. Seriously, our boy's vitality and blood levels have just shot straight through the absolute roof right now. That blood-boosting potion is doing absolute wonders, too. He literally just whipped up 12 whole bottles of that good stuff. With his current stats, chugging 2 bottles a day is plenty. Shenty, he's got 6 days to figure out how to brew more. Suddenly, his tea starts blowing up like crazy. His ringtone blares some cheesy pop anthem, probably cost him a fortune back in the day. Lu Sheng casually strolls over, grabs the phone, and hits answer. The second it connects, Miss He starts rapid-firing words like her life depends on it, terrified he'll just hang up. "Greetings, Master. I am so sorry to bother you. I am He Soso, the manager over at the Benevolence Hall. I saw the medicine you left behind, and it is literally a new era-defining product." Miss He practically begs to collaborate with our overpowered teen, Lu Sheng. He instantly agrees, but drops the bomb that they'll meet in a week. Then he just hangs up, leaving the poor girl completely frozen in absolute shock. Girl is literally malfunctioning right now. He Soso is completely desperate to meet this mystery genius, but he's out here acting like a total diva towards her. Realizing something crucial, she violently shakes Ma Fei awake, demanding he go find Lu Sheng and drag him back here immediately. Starting right this second, your only job is to find the master for me, as fast as humanly possible. Find him before 6 days, and I'll pay you 10,000 bucks for every day you're early. Hearing about that ridiculously massive cash bounty, Ma Fei's sleepy brain instantly wakes up, totally hyped and ready to hunt. Hey, boss lady, you better keep your word on that. But then, remembering what Lu Sheng actually looked like, Ma Fei asks if she's making a huge mistake. The dude who borrowed the mixing room was literally just a teenager, barely out of middle school. Finding out this Grand Master might just be some random high school kid suddenly leaves He Soso questioning her entire reality. She starts picturing some nerdy glasses-wearing student furiously mixing raw herbs in a lab to somehow brew up this god-tier revolutionary medicine. He Soso seriously starts doubting everything she knows about humanity. If Lu Sheng is really just a student brewing up impossible potions, what kind of absolute monster is he? Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng is still grinding his daily training routine. His daily grind of viciously beating up dream zombies just keeps repeating. Today, another poor undead gets spectacularly knocked out with a brutal uppercut to the jaw, a pain you can't even describe. But beating up the small fry isn't his main goal for today, not even close. Today's real target is that massive, ultra-giant zombie chilling over there like an absolute boss. If you compare their sizes, Lu Sheng barely even reaches this gigantic monster's kneecaps. Absolute David versus Goliath vibes going on here. But he wants to see if a level 1 martial artist like him can actually throw hands with a level 4 zombie. Before he can even flex, this big boy charges in, delivering a heavy punch of love that instantly deals him some annoying light damage. This towering zombie is seriously way overpowered. Its raw strength is at least double what Lu Sheng's packing right now. Unfazed, the monster lunges forward for another incredibly brutal attack. But this time, Lu Sheng smoothly dodges the strike, ready to teach this oversized freak exactly how painful reality can actually be. Out of nowhere, he slips right behind it and delivers a massive kick to its spine, making the beast squeal like a pig at the slaughterhouse. Getting attacked from behind, the zombie aggressively whips its head around, totally ready to give him the ultimate death stare. But our boy is way faster. He swings his leg up high and drops an absolute hammer kick on its skull, knocking it out cold instantly. Finally, the big guy is down. Thought it would be tough, but it was surprisingly smooth. Turns out, when this huge zombie was alive, he was a fallen battlefield warrior. Since these zombies aren't mindless beasts, Liu Sheng can easily farm their combat experience. They are basically just dead martial arts veterans waiting to be fully looted. Just like his usual daily routine, the zombie's vivid memories from when it was alive start flooding straight into Liu Sheng's brain right now. He closes his eyes, downloading the memories and power of the zombie like an absolute machine. The fight is over, and the sweet loot is claimed. Then he realizes this monster was actually a level 5 martial artist. No wonder that earlier punch nearly sent our boy straight to the afterlife. Thinking back, if it hadn't been missing an arm and completely lacking a functioning brain, and only running on whatever combat instincts it had left in its body, there is simply no way Liu Sheng could have ever beaten it. He has been grinding his stellar body refining, natural breathing, and crystal visualization techniques for almost an entire solid week now. Thanks to the massive vitality boost from the blood potion, plus all those absorbed memories, he's totally mastered this epic fist technique. If you and I are doing the math, combining his stellar body-refining secrets with his breathing, his explosive power could genuinely spike up to 10 times, or maybe even a wild 100 times its normal limit. Meanwhile, catching his fresh scent, a horde of zombies slowly creeps in. Totally clueless, they're walking right into their own doomsday. Seriously, these completely brainless idiots have absolutely no idea. They just blindly rush at him. But our guy is already revving up his shiny new power core, ready to unleash hell and show these freaks a real festival of pain. Liu Sheng punches the ground just once, unleashing a shockwave so nasty that every nearby zombie is practically crying for mercy. He warned them not to get close, but since nobody listens, they just have to suffer the brutal consequences. And with that wild flex, it's right back to his daily grind. Today, Liu Sheng hits the martial arts center again. Time to see if those crazy recent dreams actually boosted his stats or not. The moment he walks in, the receptionist spots him instantly. Resting her chin on her hand, she playfully teases him, "Little brother, why are you back here already? Got exams coming up? Let me tell you a secret. Blood Chi stats don't just magically shoot up in a short amount of time, right?" "I know, Grandma." Liu Sheng knows this absolute fact better than anyone else here. But hey, that rule only applies to perfectly normal people, not an absolute freak like him. Scratching his head, he politely plays along with the desk lady. "Haha, you caught me. I just want to make some fast progress. That is all." Seeing a handsome guy, she smiles so hard her eyes vanish. She is thinking, this is already the second time she has seen this good-looking kid Liu Sheng this month. Normal folks usually wait at least half a month or even half a year before they bother testing again. Even if a strict school really cares about student rankings, they still only run mandatory monthly exams at best. Haha, room 200 is totally empty right now. Just go on in. Do your absolute best, okay? Walking away, Liu Sheng mutters under his breath. If his raw power was not skyrocketing so stupidly fast, there is no way he would be testing this often. First up is the blood test. Wildly enough, the machine actually spits out a crazy score of 15.6. Even our boy Liu Sheng is completely stunned here. He never expected his stats to jump this high, literally shattering the standard requirements for a level 2 martial artist. He smiles happily. But honestly, it makes total sense. Combining supreme martial arts from 1,000 years later with advanced futuristic supplements, if his power did not explode, that would be the real mystery. Blood test done. Now it is time to switch over to the combat power machine to see what kind of crazy progress he made. Liu Sheng rolls up his sleeves. He winds up getting ready to give this poor testing robot a brutal one-way ticket straight to the face. Boom! He lands a punch to the robot's head so insanely hard, you would think the center has to buy a totally new one now. The final score flashes. 3,137. This number is just way too ridiculous, easily blowing past 3 times the normal standard limit. Even Liu Sheng is totally shocked by his own raw strength. This massive boost could partly be his boxing technique, but there is definitely more to it. Because if that is really the true case here, his absolute maximum combat power limit is basically something that nobody can even accurately measure anymore. Liu Sheng decides to give it one more shot just to see what happens. This time, he goes all out with everything he has, and the result is absolutely terrifying. Wrapping up, he walks out to head home. The desk lady spots him leaving and immediately rushes over to strike up a quick conversation. I mean, he is a totally gorgeous guy. If she misses this chance to chat, she probably will not even sleep tonight out of pure regret. "Little brother, are you all done with your tests? Looking at your face, I am guessing the results were pretty satisfying. Am I right?" Lu Sheng flashes a bright smile. Yeah, very satisfying. After that quick exchange, the two of them say their goodbyes before he heads out. The desk lady is grinning so hard right now that she practically outshines the actual sun. Once Lu Sheng finally walks away, she just giggles to herself, quietly thinking about how he always acts so cool. But the moment he actually smiles, oh, he is ridiculously handsome. Well, you and I saw that, but two kids nearby just caught every single thirsty expression she made. That pink-haired girl right there, that is Ni Chang, the eldest daughter of the boss running this Hongchuan martial arts center. Trailing right behind Ni Chang is her little brother. She instantly starts teasing the desk lady. I just brought my brother back from his medicine bath and catch you completely drooling over a guy. Getting completely called out, the poor receptionist panics and immediately tries to deny it, saying, that was just some totally normal high school boy. I have absolutely no idea what you mean by drooling over guys. Though, honestly, you really have to admit that Lu Sheng is just ridiculously attractive. Hearing these two older girls talking about handsome guys, the little brother in the back shakes his head arrogantly. Being handsome is completely useless. It is not like good looks can feed you. In this modern society, martial arts is literally everything. This arrogant kid is completely looking down on our guy Lu Sheng. He scoffs, saying, you can just tell from Lu Sheng's vibe that he is obviously just some kid from a completely ordinary family background. Running extra tests is just totally pointless for someone like him. Ni Chang glares sideways at her little brother. Ever since childhood, this spoiled kid has chugged down all kinds of premium power tonics. Even without doing any real training yet, his base blood chi is already double a normal person. Now that he is actually practicing all kinds of martial arts, he is constantly expanding the massive gap between himself and every other kid his age. With a crazy head start like that, it is honestly pretty easy to see why the little punk acts so ridiculously arrogant. Ni Chang finds him incredibly annoying, so she just smacks him right on the head and scolds him. Hey, stop comparing yourself to completely normal kids. She then gets deadly serious, reminding Kyung-er that having amazing resources means he needs to train even harder. He definitely should not just sit around acting arrogant all day over his own tiny little personal achievements. The pink-haired kid gets a huge bump on his head from that punch. He just squats down crying, totally too scared to fight his sister back. Still crying his eyes out, his crazy competitive side suddenly kicks right in. Instantly smiling again, he grabs tight onto his older sister's arm. Hey, Sister Ni Chang, let me make a deal with you. I really want to check out the exact test results of that guy from earlier. Ni Chang has totally no clue why her little brother suddenly cares about Lu Sheng's stats. The kid explains that just by looking at him, Lu Sheng seems to be just a few years older than himself. Since he is just a student, he wants to see if that hardcore training actually gives real results. I guess you and I are about to find out. Alright, you and I are watching Ni Chang totally cave to this kid. But before checking the score, she warns the brat that it is just a normal guy, basically telling him to stop acting so incredibly smug about everything. The receptionist hands over the result tablet, casually mentioning that only one single person bothered taking the test today. So yeah, they can easily just check the live score right there. Ni Chang grabs the shiny tablet and casually reads Lu Sheng's name out loud. Just a typical high school student, right? Wrong. Her expression drops instantly. After the three of them finally see Lu Sheng's ridiculous combat score flashing right on that screen, pure panic on every single face. That cocky little brat from a minute ago is so completely shocked he literally cannot stand up and flops hard onto the floor. Is this stupid machine broken? The receptionist firmly swears their dojo machines never break down. She insists they get regular maintenance so there is no chance of an error. Plus, they literally just fixed the thing yesterday, so a wild glitch happening right now is absolutely impossible in this place. Ni Chang's face instantly goes totally pale. If the machine is fine, then Lu Sheng's completely insane high score is 100% real. She immediately screams out loud, Xiaoling, do you have an address or phone number? But bummer, Lu Sheng is not even a member here, so zero registration info exists. He only drops by the dojo just to casually test his crazy powers. The receptionist rushes off frantically to search, totally guessing that Lu Sheng must definitely live somewhere pretty close by. Ni Chang furiously orders her to grab all the free staff and gather every single bit of information on the local high school students. They absolutely must track down Lu Sheng's exact whereabouts right this very second. Ni Chang intensely stares at the tablet screen one more time and mutters, Lu Sheng, I will definitely find you. Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng is already chilling in a taxi heading somewhere else entirely. Before hopping out, the driver acts super impressed with him. The guy throws up a thumbs up and laughs. Talking with you has been an absolute blast. Kid? Next time we bump into each other, I am totally introducing you to my lovely daughter. Lu Sheng steps out of the car, shaking his head. This old dude is way too enthusiastic. If he knew this would happen, he would have just claimed he was taking the level 2 martial arts exam. That way, the crazy driver would have definitely thought he was insane and stopped talking to him completely. Arriving at a massive building, he reaches for the door, but some guy suddenly runs out from inside, literally sounding like he is about to start crying. No way. My combat power at home clearly broke past 150. How did this happen? The dude acts completely cursed, dropping to his knees and raising both hands to the sky right outside. The crowd watching this pathetic scene starts whispering about how the Martial Association's gear is totally official. Compared to those cheap machines outside, this official stuff is obviously way more accurate. That guy probably got praised way too much, so he simply cannot accept the brutal truth today. Hearing that the machines here are super accurate actually gets Lu Sheng completely hyped up. Finally, he has found the perfect spot to clearly figure out exactly how terrifyingly strong he really is. Lu Sheng marches right into the lobby and hits up the reception desk. "Hello, could you please tell me which way to go for the official martial artist certification exam?" The receptionist absolutely refuses to even glance at him. The girl just keeps fiercely signing a massive stack of boring documents without stopping. She violently shoves a form at Lu Sheng, telling him to fill it out before heading up to room 203 for his testing. Lu Sheng obediently plays along, but the second he reaches the required room and pulls open the door, the wild scene totally blows his mind. There are literally hundreds of people already in front of him. This crazy crowd is ridiculously huge. I am definitely not joking around here. He seriously thought he would be the only one testing today. Who knew everyone else wanted to flex their stats too? Lu Sheng steps inside, looking totally defeated. Our guy literally has zero time to waste right now. Waiting in this massive line is going to drain all his daylight, and he honestly has no clue what to do next. While feeling completely bummed out, he overhears two random dudes nearby aggressively whispering about some incredibly gorgeous girl who is also hanging around here. Lu Sheng quickly shoots a glance over there, and sure enough, he spots a surprisingly young girl. But honestly, her hidden combat potential is probably not just average, it is completely off the charts. Scanning the chaotic room, Lu Sheng notices the vast majority of the people waiting in line are around 15 years old. By that standard, our boy is considered pretty young. Yet somehow, that mysterious girl over there looks even younger than he does. Absolutely wild. The whole room goes dead silent. Suddenly, a massive, absolutely gigantic dude stomps inside, making every single person turn their heads just to stare. Coming through. "Excuse me." Right now, it is finally the turn of some overly confident guy at the testing spot. He firmly believes he will smash the test and make his girlfriend super proud, and his incredibly supportive girlfriend standing right beside him is enthusiastically cheering her lungs out for him. But right while these lovebirds are totally lost in their own little romantic world, that giant dude uses a single finger to casually shove them aside, leaving them both completely dumbfounded. Now, stick with me here. The guy turns around, sees this literal walking mountain pushing him, and his eyes look ready to pop completely out of his skull. And not just him. The whole crowd actually gasps out loud because this giant is nothing but pure, unadulterated muscle on top of muscle. The girlfriend sees this meathead acting so incredibly arrogant and gets totally furious. She aggressively steps right up to demand justice for her precious boyfriend. "Hey, who are you? Have some manners. Do you understand? You need to wait in line." The giant guy just stares at her, looking way too bored to even reply. "All right, you and I are diving into absolute chaos." The boyfriend could not stop his girl, mostly because he was way too weak to fight that giant anyway. Sometimes staying quiet keeps you alive, but nope, the girl totally lost it and screamed at him. She yelled, "Do not think you can break the rules just because you are massive." While she was passionately cursing him out, the staff dropped an absolute bombshell. Yeah, this big guy actually can break the rules. The staff finally checked his ticket. Turns out, he gets to jump the line and test first. Why? Because this absolute unit is a legit level 3 martial artist. Hearing that, the loudmouth girl instantly panicked. Her boyfriend? Basically about to throw up blood from pure fear. A level 3 martial artist taking the test is insanely rare around here. In all of Baihe City, there are literally only a little over 10 people who have ever reached this tier. Our boy Lu Sheng just watched, thinking, hey, the strong make the rules in the martial arts world. Special privileges make sense. Then, the giant dude stepped up to the podium for his exam. That annoying girlfriend from earlier was still feeling super bitter for her boyfriend. She just kept angrily muttering about the big guy. She scoffed, saying he is just a level 3 martial artist. Big deal. Just taking the test does not make him some almighty god. What a total hater. But the moment his results popped up, she got absolutely humbled. The big dude's blood energy level reached a whopping 107. The staff member in charge was literally sweating bullets while writing down the massive guy's information. But staying completely professional, he cleared his throat and announced that they would now move to the second test. This second test was honestly even more savage. Just one single punch from this beast sent a shockwave that knocked literally everyone in the room off their feet. The entire crowd down below turned into an absolute chaotic mess in seconds. But not Lu Sheng. Our guy stood completely solid, totally unfazed. Guess all that insane daily grinding and hardcore training finally paid off big time. His combat power result was 10,831. The staff happily congratulated Zhao Changfeng, declaring that from now on, he is officially recognized as a level 3 martial artist in Baihe City by the Grand Martial Arts Association. He will even get a monthly allowance of 30,000 yuan. Flexing his new status, he looked down at the fallen crowd. Amazingly, only 2 people were still managing to stand their ground. A pretty girl nearby could not help but praise the man's strength. But then, Lu Sheng randomly spoke up from the back. Is this really the standard for a level 3 martial artist? Hearing Lu Sheng say such a bold thing, the girl was totally shocked. She thought to herself, this kid is way too arrogant. So what if he survives someone else's shockwave? That is nothing to brag about. Ignoring her, Lu Sheng casually walked up to the staff and asked if he could just take his turn right now. I mean, no one was lining up anyway. Everyone else was still groaning on the floor, totally messed up by the giant dude's crazy punch. Seeing Lu Sheng acting so chill, the staff member looked pretty impressed. He actually praised the kid, saying his mental strength was not bad at all. The man smiled and called out, all right, next person. Lu Sheng, begin your test. Now, you and I need to pay close attention to this. Lu Sheng started by touching the glowing sphere. The staff nicely reminded him to not stress out, just keep a totally normal and relaxed state. Boom! The screen displayed Lu Sheng's blood energy result, 15.7. The same staff member who just told him to relax was now feeling a terrifying chill down his spine. Even the people on the floor were completely stunned, especially that girl from earlier. Her eyes practically bugged out, and her jaw hit the floor. Wait, what? This kid is only 17 or 18 years old. What the heck is going on? Even Zhao Chengfeng, watching from the corner, was baffled. A teenager hitting the level 2 martial artist standard? Isn't that just insanely unreal? The boy is way too young to possess this kind of crazy blood energy already. Next up was the combat power test. The staff told him to not let Zhao Chengfeng's monstrous punch intimidate him. Just punch comfortably until he felt satisfied with his score. But nobody expected Lu Sheng to drop a response that left the staff speechless. Haha, thanks, but I do not need to. One time is enough. With that, Lu Sheng channeled his absolute maximum power to unleash the most devastating, lightning-fast punch imaginable. The entire room suddenly flashed a brilliant purple, leaving absolutely everyone staring in pure, unfiltered shock. So what do you and I think? How many points will Lu Sheng's epic strike actually score to make everyone look up like that? The moment Lu Sheng slammed his fist into the combat power testing machine, the whole thing completely shattered into pieces. A terrifying boom echoed out. The massive surge of raw energy instantly knocked out the level 1 martial artists on the spot. Countless terrified screams filled the air, turning the scene into pure, glorious mayhem. Even Zhao Chengfeng, watching from afar, had to frown at the absolutely monstrous strength radiating from Lu Sheng. Yang Yan, who completely ignored our boy earlier, was now barely struggling to withstand this overwhelming wave of power. Right then, the scoreboard flashed his final combat power number. The Martial Arts Association staff took one look at Lu Sheng's insane score, jaw dropping to the floor, and began stuttering wildly. 15,709. Seeing the score, Lu Sheng smiled proudly, breaking the bottleneck of his boxing technique, plus the stellar force generation, and adding his natural breathing method too. His combat power shot up directly to 10 times the blood energy standard. Seriously, is this the insane charm of martial arts techniques? The association staff finally snapped back to reality after that massive shock. Trembling completely like a leaf, he nervously said, Student Lu, congratulations on easily passing the level 1 martial artist test. Wait, no! Your actual strength can totally surpass a level 2 martial artist, or maybe even a level 3. What a monster! The staff guy was totally losing his mind, finally bursting out. Sorry, I literally can't even evaluate you right now. But don't sweat it. I am reporting this crazy result straight to the top brass right now. The Martial Arts Association never buries raw talent. Wait, no, an absolute genius, especially a freakish genius like you. I am going to submit this report immediately. I am betting my entire career on this. I promise you will get a satisfying answer. Just trust me on this. Lu Sheng just stood there, completely clueless, watching the guy sprint off with his result paper like a madman. Huh? Wait, what? Staring at the guy's vanishing figure, our boy wondered, so, can I just go home now? Suddenly, a massive dude radiating pure, terrifying killer intent loomed right behind him. He spun around, totally on guard, and snapped, so, what exactly do you want from me? Enter Zhao Chengfeng. The guy reached out a hand, looking creepy as hell. Seeing this intense dude offering a handshake, Lu Sheng was incredibly confused. Looking like an absolute menace, he introduced himself as Zhao Chengfeng. Lu Sheng just stared silently right back at him with this hilariously defiant, rebellious smirk. He reached his hand out, totally ready to flex his raw strength against Lu Sheng. But plot twist, the second they shook hands, that intimidating monster Zhao Changfeng actually broke into a massive, goofy smile. And here is where it gets crazy. Suddenly, the entire crowd went completely feral, fighting just to shake his hand. Hey, Mr. Liu, I am Wang Daming. Please shake my hand. Mr. Liu, I am Hu Changming. Got a minute? Mr. Liu, look over here. Mr. Liu, hold up. It was pure unadulterated chaos. Seeing this crazy mob rushing him, Lu Sheng panicked and bolted for his life. But those relentless fans totally refused to let him escape. Damn it, that guy Zhao Changfeng totally beat us to it. Seriously, a level 3 martial artist switches up faster than lightning. The entire mob sprinted after Lu Sheng, screaming his name like maniacs. Mr. Liu! Meanwhile, outside the association building, Lu Qinghe and her two friends were still waiting for their senior. She nervously asked, "Has Senior Yang seriously not come out yet? I wonder if it went smoothly." Feng Fanfan confidently smirked. Haha, chill out. Getting a level 1 certification is basically a walk in the park for a massive genius like her. Lu Qinghe nodded in agreement, figuring she was totally right. But then, she caught sight of Lu Sheng strolling right out of the building. She was totally shocked. Wait, what the heck? Qinghe yelled out. Lu Sheng glanced over, spotted his sister with her little squad, and quickly jogged over to check on them. Qinghe, why are you hanging around here? She planted her hands on her hips, scowling fiercely. Pretty sure I should be asking you that. You literally skip school, you sleep all day, so what on earth are you doing sneaking around the association? Lu Sheng panicked internally. Skipping school is one thing, but how the heck does she know I sleep all day in my room? Looking super awkward, he faked a cough. I am just taking care of some highly classified business. What about you guys? What are you all doing hanging around here? Feng Fanfan just smiled brightly. Hey there, Mr. Liu. I am Qinghe's close friend, Feng Fanfan, but literally everyone calls me Fanfan, and this here is Shu Ruo. We are just hanging out with Senior Yang Yan for her exam today. Totally mesmerized by his looks, she shamelessly started fangirling. Wow, you are actually super handsome. Literally nothing like the massive loser Qinghe always describes. Qinghe was so furious at her friend for betraying her over a pretty face, she aggressively snapped, "Hey, are you too serious right now?" Our guy loved the compliment and let out a smug, joyful laugh. Ha ha ha, thanks a lot. Meanwhile, Qinghe stood right there, absolutely glaring daggers. You absolute traitors. Did you conveniently forget who constantly saves your lives back at school every single day? Fanfan immediately backed down and apologized. Of course it is you, our glorious parent and savior. While they kept bickering like crazy, Lu Sheng just grinned and affectionately patted his sister's head. All right then, I am heading home first. See ya. Her friends instantly waved back. Bye-bye, Mr. Liu. Have a safe trip back. Watching him walk away, Fanfan turned and totally teased her friend. Oh, come on. You two actually have a super cute sibling dynamic. Qinghe was literally fuming that her best friends were defending him. It is not cute at all. Are you two traitors completely blind or something? Right at that moment, Shu Ruo loudly yelled out, "Ah, Senior Yang Yan is finally out." The squad instantly dropped their argument and sprinted over to her, completely anxious. "Senior Yang, how did it go? Did you pass?" But Yang Yan just let out this incredibly depressing sigh. Please do not even ask. Some massive incident happened, so they literally halted all the exams. We probably have to wait until this afternoon. Everyone's faces just dropped in pure panic. Fanfan hurriedly asked, "Wait, what incident? What could possibly be crazy enough to shut down the entire exam?" Yang Yan instantly flashed back to that ridiculous young guy. His raw power and abilities were just absolute nightmare fuel. He was an absolute monster, an utter freak of nature. That insane guy was exactly my age, yet his vitality value was 15.7. His combat power completely crushed a level 3 martial artist, casually breaking way past 10,000. Haha, what a total joke. I seriously always thought my talent was pretty top tier. But after seeing that absolute demon today, my so-called potential feels like a massive, hilarious joke. Now you and I know who she means. The whole squad listened, jaws literally hitting the floor. Fanfan frantically asked, "Senior Yang, wait, what was this crazy monster's name? Did you catch it?" Yang Yan paused, thought about it for a second, and frowned. Right. His name was Lu Sheng. All right, buckle up, guys. Hearing the name Lu Sheng completely paralyzes Lu Qinghe. Wait, what? She literally cannot process this insane truth. She pictures her absolute slacker of a brother and questions her sanity. "My brother?" she mutters. Meanwhile, our so-called prodigy Lu Sheng is just casually strolling down the street, happily munching on a piping hot steamed bun like he doesn't have a care in the world. Suddenly, he spots a squad of dudes in black suits aggressively searching the city block, causing a total public freakout. Check that side yet? Heading there now. The local market aunties instantly activate their gossip mode. "Who caused this mess?" they whisper, I heard the Hongchuan dojo is hunting someone down. Seriously, what kind of absolute lunatic would actually dare to provoke those Hongchuan dojo guys? Whoever it is, they are totally screwed. Those martial artists are ruthless. If they get caught, say goodbye to their kneecaps. Broken legs, guaranteed. Lu Sheng chews his bun, thinking they are probably hunting that guy from the recent test. Whatever, not his problem. He literally walks away, completely oblivious that he is the actual target. His phone starts aggressively blasting an obnoxious ringtone. Someone is desperately calling him, but honestly, what is the point of answering right now? It is Ma Fei from the Hall of Virtue. Lu Sheng rolls his eyes. They are calling again? Time to play it cool and give them the absolute cold shoulder. After all, his future tech medicine formulas could literally be traded for mountains of cold, hard cash. But do they even deserve his business? He needs to investigate them first. Back in his room, our guy locks the door and fires up his crazy future AI system. Lu Sheng boots up the device. A slick blue hologram flashes across the room. Optical computer, fully online. He instantly barks an order at the AI. Pull up my entire life history. The system immediately spits out his highly classified basic information panel. Understood. Fetching basic data now. Name, Lu Sheng. Lifespan, from June of the martial arts year 297 all the way to July of year 383. Peak martial strength. Level 6 martial artist. Usable authority, level 2. Then comes the wild stuff. At age 18, became a level 2 martial artist, absolutely shocking all of Baihe City. Recommended by the local martial arts association to join the super elite Dawning Province Genius Training Camp, crushed it, securing a spot right in the top 20. That exact same year, ranked number 1 in the city, 32nd in the province, and snatched the 145th spot nationwide in the insanely brutal university entrance exams. He swaggered into Dongning Martial Arts University, naturally graduating just 3 years later. 5 years later, transitioned into a badass lieutenant officer and founded his own Baihe City dojo. Hit level 6 martial artist at 45. Tried pushing for level 7 grandmaster at 50, but completely failed. Then, in July of 338, killed in action during a massive monster attack on Baihe City. Final age? 87 years old. Marital status? Married, with 2 daughters and 1 son. Peaked as a senior lieutenant officer. Absolutely 0 outstanding contributions. Basically, history gave his entire life a pathetic 2-star rating. Seeing his entire future spelled out like a cheap RPG character sheet leaves Lu Sheng utterly speechless. He stares at the screen, trying to mentally digest this absolute madness. Age 18. Hitting level 2 and completely flipping Baihe City upside down. Then getting fast-tracked by the local martial arts association straight into the super elite Dawning Province Genius Camp, easily crushing the competition to hit the top 20. 3 years later, graduating from Dongning University to serve the military, and then snagging a slick lieutenant officer rank 5 years after that, opening his own dojo, hitting level 6 at 45, then boldly trying for level 7 grandmaster at 50, only to crash and burn miserably. And finally, dying during a massive monster invasion in year 338, clocking out at exactly 87 years old. Mumbling through his own obituary, he smirks. Now, you and I both know the rule here. The future is not set in stone. It can totally be hacked. At least, his personal future is changing. Just 1 week ago, he was a pathetic level 4 fighter doomed to die at 37. Now, he's jumping to a level 6 powerhouse. He is living past 80, with a legitimate shot at the legendary level 7. Grandmaster Realm. Though, let's be real, that is still miles away. But honestly, this tiny personal upgrade means absolutely nothing to the rest of the world or the grand timeline. If he actually wants to save humanity and rewrite the entire trajectory of the world for the next 10,000 years, he is going to need god-tier strength. A basic level 6 is literally useless. Even level 7 or 8 grandmasters, or a legendary future level 9 martial saint, are just minor players in this insane reality. To actually shake up the universe's destiny, to totally rewrite the apocalypse, he has to reach the absolute peak. Breaking through level 10, maybe even level 11, that is the only real ray of hope. The odds are absolute garbage, but he is fully locked in on this crazy path. No turning back now. Meanwhile, over at the fancy office of the Baihe Martial Arts Association president, we find Xiao Yuhei intensely practicing his calligraphy, completely ignoring the video call from his grumpy old boss on the screen. The old boss starts preaching. Stillness creates light, movement soars, energy rises, and the form follows. Focus your intention perfectly. Beautiful calligraphy. Seriously, you can literally feel President Xiao's massive spiritual energy pouring out of every single brushstroke. Reaching the legendary level 7 Grandmaster tier is practically guaranteed for him at this point. Sigh, the old boss grumbles. If only you put this much insane effort into actually teaching your students. Getting totally called out by his boss makes President Xiao instantly flinch, completely ruining his perfect brushstroke. Oops. He awkwardly laughs it off. Haha, come on, boss. Stop roasting me. Do you honestly think I don't want Baihei City to produce some totally overpowered martial arts geniuses? But let's be real. You know our city hasn't had a proper martial arts lineage in years. We are basically dried up. Alright, you and I know how this works. Since this place has zero resources, any kid with a drop of talent just bounces. I'm seriously helpless here. The big boss suddenly gets super dramatic, goes totally quiet for a second, and then sighs. President Xiao, the massive training camp is opening up real soon, and we haven't sent a single person to compete in literal years. Baihe is a huge city, so having zero achievements is pathetic. Not sending anyone? Yeah, that is basically the ultimate embarrassment for us. So this time, no matter what it takes, you better save some face for Baihe City. Do you understand me? The old boss coldly drops this heavy order on President Xiao and just instantly hangs up. Savage. No chance to argue. After getting hung up on, Xiao Yuhei rages, crushing the paper in his hand and screaming, "Dang it, does he think I do not want to find crazy talent and actually achieve something amazing here?" He violently flops down at his desk, gritting his teeth, his hands literally shaking with pure rage. He angrily thinks, if I actually had the top boss position and all those shiny resources, who would sit around writing these stupid letters? Zero hope for a promotion. But while he is wallowing in misery, his secretary randomly bursts through the door. Bam! She frantically yells, "President, the Martial Arts Testing Center! Something insane just happened over there." President Xiao just glares and snaps back. "Why are you running around acting so totally unhinged? Did you completely forget how to knock? Speak!" The panicked secretary practically sprints over, hugging a massive stack of papers, and shoves a crazy testing report right into President Xiao's face. "I am so sorry, but this is wildly urgent. The examiner just dropped a massive bombshell. He is here! An 18-year-old level 2 martial artist just popped up, and his combat power just smashed past 10,000. President Xiao's eyes literally bulge out of his skull. He violently snatches the shiny tablet right out of her hands and screams, "Show me the video right now!" The poor secretary gets super startled by his crazy dramatic outburst and stammers, Yes, sir." Xiao stares intensely at the security footage. Yep, that is our boy Lu Sheng, totally dominating his exam. After pausing and double-checking, the boss yells in pure shock, "That is the perfect realm punching technique." The confused secretary stands there looking totally clueless and asks, "Wait, what does that mean?" Still glued to Lu Sheng's insane moves, the president impatiently snaps back. "It is an incredibly high-level term in our entire martial arts world. Since you are totally normal, just know this. Anyone who pushes their punching technique to the absolute perfect realm, there are literally less than 10 of them alive today." But wait! Suddenly, President Xiao connects the dots. He thinks to himself, no, that is impossible. Even with the insanely overpowered perfect realm, it absolutely cannot boost his blood energy up to 15.7 and hit 15,000 total combat power. Even a perfect realm technique only doubles a fighter's maximum battle stats at the absolute most. And this kid is literally only 18 years old. His blood energy is exactly 10 times the standard power, just a normal teenager. Then it totally clicks for President Xiao, and he lights up like a literal Christmas tree. Yes, that is the only crazy logical explanation. Otherwise, this whole thing makes zero sense. Ha ha ha. The secretary just awkwardly watches her boss mumbling completely to himself and laughing like an absolute maniac. Utterly confused, she tries calling out to him. And then, boom, the poor girl gets randomly hoisted into the air. President Xiao joyfully grabs her and literally spins her around like a rag doll. He cackles, "Haha, this kid is a super rare genius martial artist. And to think this monster actually spawned right here in our own Baihe City. Ha ha ha." Spun around like a human helicopter, the poor secretary gets incredibly dizzy, hopelessly screaming for her life in total panic. "President, wait! What even is an innate talent martial artist?" Meanwhile, after years of epic failure, Xiao finally found a real prodigy and just cannot stop grinning like a fool. Alright, listen. Some people in martial arts just hit the genetic jackpot. They casually awaken stupidly broken and overpowered abilities. Stuff totally beyond what any normal human can even imagine. Once awakened, their blood energy just violently skyrockets to the moon. Plus, they score super unique perks, totally insane explosive power, or literal lightning speed. Everyone officially calls these absolute freaks innate talent martial artists. President Xiao frantically throws his coat on and dashes for the door. "Ha ha ha, move it. I need to personally crash Lu Sheng's house right now and have a very nice chat with his wonderful parents. I seriously need to thank them for spawning such a totally legendary and overpowered kid." Ha ha ha. The extremely dizzy secretary violently stumbles but chases after him anyway. "Yes, sir, whatever you say. I will literally go scream at the driver to get the car ready right now." Meanwhile, at the Hongchuan dojo, Miss Ni Chang is aggressively forcing her entire staff to hunt down Lu Sheng. Suddenly, a junior disciple absolutely sprints over screaming, "I got it! I found him! Senior Ni!" Ni Chang instantly whips around and demands, "Well, spill it!" Panting like a total dog, the kid gasps. His name is Lu Sheng, a regular student at Baihe Institute. His dad literally just moves boxes for Shengsing Logistics. His mom works as a totally average cashier over at Jiajia Supermarket, and he has a freshman little sister. They all live in the basic Bailam District 15. Ni Chang nods super intensely and instantly gets ready to bounce. Seeing her about to violently storm out, the poor kid panics. "Wait, why are you hunting this guy down? Did he seriously tick you off or something?" "Come on, senior. He is literally just some broke kid from an ultra-basic family. You absolutely do not need to murder him." Realizing this idiot totally missed the point, Ni Chang furiously snaps, "Shut your mouth! It is absolutely not what you think." Suddenly, her phone rings, and she visibly stiffens up, looking crazy tense. "Hello? Yeah, I know. I figured it would be fast, but I seriously never expected those guys to move this insanely quick. All right, we are watching this junior brother totally lose his mind. If it isn't what he thinks, what is it? A crazy son-in-law search?" After hanging up the phone, our girl Ni Chang spins around and barks an order. "Go buy some insanely expensive gifts right now, stuff perfect for respected elders and a young woman." The poor guy stands there completely stunned for a few seconds before bolting. "Huh? Oh, yes, totally." Running away, he seriously wonders if this is a husband hunt. Meanwhile, Ni Chang grips her phone like a weapon. She finally tracked him down. Cut to our absolute unit, Lu Sheng. He is just chilling, training in his room when his sister Lu Qinghe starts yelling, "Brother Lu, hurry up and come outside. Someone is here. Looking for you." Lu Sheng slowly stands up and sighs. "Got it. I am coming." Throwing on a random jacket, our guy steps out. Honestly, it has been forever since Qinghe called him brother like that. Who on earth is actually looking for him? Could it be? The second he leaves the room, he spots his whole family casually chatting with some total strangers. Seeing her son, his mom waves him over. "Little Sheng, come here. This is..." But before she can even finish that sentence, the older dude completely interrupts to introduce himself. "Hello there, Student Lu." President Xiao stands up straight and politely extends his hand out. "I am Xiao Yue, the president of the Baihe Martial Arts Association. I came all this way specifically because of your insane test results." Lu Sheng mentally calculates the power scaling here. A martial arts association president means this guy is at least a level 6 quasi-grandmaster. He quickly shakes the man's hand. "Hello, President Xiao. I am Lu Sheng." Seeing our main character stay completely chill, the president is super impressed. "Not bad at all. You are incredibly calm." Honestly, just having this kind of solid mindset is already super rare. Lu Sheng casually points at the girl sitting nearby and asks, "And who is this?" His mom jumps right in to introduce her. "This right here is Miss Ni Chang from the Hongchuan Martial Arts Hall." Ni Chang jumps right in. "Hello, student Lu Sheng. We actually ran into each other back at the Martial Arts Hall. Do you have any impression of me?" Our guy simply nods his head. "Yeah, hello, Miss Ni." The second Lu Sheng sits down, he just cuts right to the chase. He asks President Xiao directly, "There is no free lunch anywhere. The association gave us so much stuff. I definitely have to return the favor. So what exactly does President Xiao need me to do for you guys?" Xiao is actually caught off guard by how blunt our guy is. He sighs deeply. "You really opened my eyes, kid. Now watch this." He pulls out a shiny card from his jacket. "Then I will just be completely straightforward with you. We really hope you can join Dongning Province's absolute top genius training camp." Ni Chang literally jumps out of her seat. "President Xiao, did you just say the genius camp?" She looks completely stressed out. "Sure, it gathers the most absolutely gifted martial arts freaks out there, but that place is also a giant meat grinder that completely breaks true geniuses. Our own martial arts hall once had an amazing senior brother join that exact training camp. He went in full of fiery hype, but came back as a total broken failure, completely overshadowed by the other monsters there." Ni Chang frantically steps in to stop him. "Student Lu Sheng, your future is just way too bright. There is absolutely no need to risk everything like this." President Xiao quickly jumps in to advise him. She is right. It is a huge risk. That place only selects the true, undisputed heaven's chosen ones. Even the absolute top-tier city geniuses might just end up as brutal stepping stones for someone else. But you? You are built entirely different from them. Judging purely by the wild strength and insane potential you just showed off, your future peak is absolutely not locked to this tiny level right here. But listen, student Lu Sheng, I will respect whatever choice you make. So, what is your answer?" Lu Sheng stays perfectly quiet for a second, then finally reaches out and snatches the shiny card. "You are not wrong, President Xiao. I also believe this is absolutely not my true limit." Xiao breathes a huge sigh of relief. "All right then, I will personally pick you up in 2 days. Won't bother you anymore right now." The president stands up to leave. See you in 2 days, student Lu Sheng. Right after Xiao finally leaves, Lu Sheng immediately turns to face Ni Chang. All right, Miss Ni, now you should explain why you are really here. Ni Chang turns back, gets hit by how ridiculously handsome Lu Sheng actually looks, and immediately blushes hard. She panics in her head seriously. This guy looks way better in person than in his photos. Ni Chang quickly covers her mouth and awkwardly clears her throat. Ahem. I actually came here today hoping to invite student Lu Sheng to become an honorary disciple of our Hongchuan Martial Arts Hall. Lu Sheng stays totally deadpan. What exactly does an honorary disciple even mean? Ni Chang frantically clarifies. Basically, it means you literally never have to show up like normal disciples. Of course, you can still pop in absolutely whenever you want to. All of the training classes and premium gear are completely free of charge, and I can even have my father personally teach you himself. You get to enjoy the absolute highest tier of teaching treatment in name only, meaning you have zero annoying obligations or heavy responsibilities to carry. Ni Chang is secretly calculating everything. If they can just show off the brand of an 18-year-old level 2 or even level 3 martial artist, their hall will become ridiculously famous across all of Baihe City, right? She can't even imagine how many frantic parents will literally fight to send their kids here. But right then, Lu Sheng brutally shatters her perfect little daydream with a cold rejection. No way. Ni Chang panics and jumps up. Wait, this treatment is totally negotiable. Please do not reject me so fast. All right, stick with me. Lu Sheng accepts an honorary title. They can totally brag about him training there, since that is technically true. But anything else? Hard pass. He refuses to be their disciple, even in name only, because he simply does not need it. Take it or leave it. Obviously, he will still use their testing gear later, mostly because it is super close to his house. Classic teenager logic. Nai thinks about it for a second, then finally compromises. Deal, but the Hongchuan Dojo is buying that honorary title outright. She promises to send his 100,000 monthly salary straight to his door. With the crazy negotiation totally wrapped up, Ni Xiang stands up to leave. She says goodbye, and the door slams. Bam! Once she leaves, his entire family just stares at Lu Sheng with massive, absolute pride. His dad is totally mind-blown. A 1 million bonus? And 100,000 monthly salary? He cannot believe his own eyes. He asks, was that really the Martial Arts Association president? Coming personally to their door? When did his son become a level 2 martial artist? What in the world is even happening right now? Lu Sheng gently holds his mom's hand. He confirms it is all true, he really is a level 2 martial artist now. She does not need to work those dangerous night shifts anymore, and his dad can finally quit doing that brutal, heavy labor. His dad's back has suffered enough. Now, our overpowered teen can actually make bank. No more struggling for them. The family shares a huge, incredibly heartwarming hug, pure happiness. Meanwhile, at the clinic, He Lingzu bites her finger in pure frustration. A whole week, and still no name, no face. She scratches her head, frantically searching through piles of books on her desk, looking totally helpless. She checked every registered pharmacist record everywhere, but found absolutely nothing. Where did this potion-making genius come from? Why is there zero info? Gritting her teeth, she remembers that insane potion Lu Sheng crafted. The supplement he made is mind-blowing. The data proves it is several times stronger than any standard level 1 supplement. It destroys the Pharmacist Association standards and even beats out most level 3 supplements. Dozens of crazy extra effects, basically zero side effects, a terrifyingly long duration, and it costs less than 3,000 yuan. Insane. Level 3 meds cost 100 grand. This glorious new drug could literally kickstart a new era. She violently smashes the table and screams, "Damn it, where on earth is this guy? Did he just evaporate?" Her assistant Ma Fei stands there trembling until he suddenly gasps. "Miss He, I found the master." She jumps up like a rocket. "What? Where is he?" Ma Fei points at the TV, stuttering. "It is him. The news shows a cocky 18-year-old kid. You and I know who that is." The news reports an elite martial arts genius, passing level 2 at just 18. His combat power even shatters the level 3 martial artist standards. This crazy score completely smashed every record for his age group in the city's association. Everyone is celebrating this massive win. And this absolutely overpowered genius is none other than Lu Sheng from Baihe Academy. Seeing Lu Sheng's face, He Lingsu is completely dumbfounded. She stammers for forever before realizing he is literally just a high schooler. Over at Shuhai City's Guhu Mountain, the towering peaks and dense canopy are covered in white clouds. A totally poetic, epic scenery. A peaceful stream flows quietly. Suddenly, a little white bird on a branch senses serious danger approaching, and it frantically flaps away. Boom! A flash of light appears, moving way faster than the bird. If you blink, you miss the shadowy figure running past. It is Lu Sheng, sprinting like an absolute speed demon. He darts through like a living arrow, wildly showing off his martial arts skills, blasting through the dense forest toward the peak. Running like crazy, He realizes planetary force actually works for movement. 4 times planetary force multiplier, plus his dream absorption skills, wild. His movement techniques have clearly leveled up to an insane new height. 5 times faster than normal level 2s. He calls it cloud chasing steps. He stands on the mountain peak, looking far out, surrounded by misty clouds, colorful sunlight, fresh air, and an absolutely massive pool of rich energy. Lu Sheng takes a deep breath, feels every sense in his body ignite, and throws a devastating full-power punch. His explosive inner force makes the entire area shake violently, completely blowing away the thick clouds. This reveals the magnificent, breathtaking natural scenery stretching out below. He breathes out, totally satisfied. A breakthrough. His vitality spiked, his planetary force advanced, and he might even hit a 6 times multiplier. He quickly grabs some herbs. What an epic surprise! And to think, we only came to Guhu Mountain to pick some marrow-nourishing pill ingredients. Our boy just hit a massive cultivation breakthrough. Only problem? He completely devoured all his elixirs doing it. The old stuff just is not hitting the same anymore. It is officially time to brew some marrow-nourishing pills. Alright, you and I both know how this works. Nobody in this current era even knows what these herbs actually do. If his trusty cheat system had not spilled the beans, he would be clueless. The rest of his shopping list should be waiting right at the bottom of the mountain. Since everything is probably locked and loaded down there, it is the perfect time for a little speed test. Activating his cloud chasing technique, he absolutely blasts down the trail like a total madman. And sure enough, right as he hits the bottom, he spots his local herb dealer just chilling right there. He struts right over to get his goods. Hey there, I am the guy who placed that herb order earlier. Are we all packed up? The shady merchant puffs on his pipe with a greasy grin. Ah, little bro, you made it. Do not sweat it, your entire order is boxed up and ready to go. He immediately squats down to inspect the stash. Sun lotus, dewbone leaf. Yup, everything checks out. The herbs are super fresh, and the vintage is absolutely spot on. Standing back up, he whips out a stack of cash. Alright, 10 of each at 500 a pop, 5,000 total, just like we agreed. But wait for it. The merchant suddenly holds up a hand. Whoa there, buddy, let us not rush things. Flashing a totally villainous smirk, the old guy drops a bomb. Price just went up to 1 grand apiece. Oh, and you are buying every single basket here. He gestures to his massive pile of weeds like an absolute mafia boss. A literal daylight robbery attempt. Our boy is not having it. His face goes freezing cold as he glares right back. What exactly are you trying to pull here? The slimy merchant practically laughs in his face. It means exactly what I said, my clueless little friend. You are clearly not from the Tree Sea area, are you? When you step on our turf, you play by our rules. Right on cue, a dozen thugs crawl out of the bushes. They are flexing their shiny knives, trying to look super intimidating as they creep closer. Seriously? Did mommy and daddy never teach you? When you are outside, you better learn how to be terrified. But instead of panicking, his expression just goes dead serious. He lets out a snarky chuckle as his aura explodes outward. You and I know exactly what happens next. The idiot leader keeps walking closer, completely blind to the absolute beatdown about to happen. The gang swaggers up looking tough. Do not even think about trying anything funny. Every single one of us is an official level 1 martial artist. Go ahead, call the cops. There are 0 cameras out here, and no one is going to trust some random outsider anyway. So unless you want things to get incredibly painful, I suggest you shut up and be a good little boy. The boss throws a hand sign, and the goons charge. But halfway there, they slam on the brakes, turning totally ghost pale and shaking like absolute cowards. Why? Because our guy just casually punched a massive boulder, spiderwebbing the entire thing into a million cracks. These tough guy scammers went from wanting to rob him blind to absolutely wetting their pants. They are literally dripping with cold sweat right now. He pulls his fist back, casually brushing off the dust. So let me ask you fine gentlemen a quick question. Am I supposed to be scared right now? Then he just squeezes a chunk of rock into dust like it is soft tofu. The bandits are completely speechless. It takes them a solid minute to reboot their brains before they are face-planting right into the dirt, begging. We are so sorry, boss. We were completely blind. Please spare us. We are so incredibly sorry. He casually bends down, scoops up his basket of herbs, and smirks. So we are done playing Mafia? Cool. I will just be taking these then. Realizing they are not about to get instantly deleted, the thugs start aggressively sucking up. Yes, please, take absolutely everything. You do not need to pay a single cent. Tossing the massive haul over his shoulder, he drops some parting wisdom. Since your parents clearly failed, let me teach you a lesson. If you want to do business, try being honest instead of pulling cheap scams. Acting like they just dodged a nuke, the goons are practically wagging their tails in pure relief. Thank you for the lecture, sir. We are definitely going to turn our lives around and become outstanding citizens. Seeing their dramatic tears of joy, he just shrugs to himself. Hey, I was actually planning to pay for this stuff. but if they are literally begging me to take it for free, why not? Herbs secured. Now, time to hit the training camp. Once he is finally out of sight, the boss just collapses, eyes bulging out of his head. What is wrong with the world? Are high schoolers seriously all this monstrous nowadays? Yeah, it is definitely time to update the resume. Turning a boulder into dust with his bare hands, that kid is at least a level 3 martial artist. Absolutely terrifying. Cut to one day later, our guy finally rolls up to the elite genius training camp. He spots heavily armed military guys checking IDs at the gates. Wait, is this seriously just a training camp? Because this place looks like a literal top-secret military base. And looking around, every single student is flexing an official badge, making him suddenly panic. Are we actually supposed to wear our martial artist badges out here? Oh crap. His mom totally locked his up at home for safekeeping, and he completely forgot it. Is that going to be a problem? He just sighs, picturing his shiny badge sitting completely useless inside his mom's glass display case. Before he can stress too much, a strict-looking officer walks right up to him. Which city are you from, kid? And why are you arriving completely solo? White River City, sir. I had some business to handle, so I got delayed. Hearing his city, a bunch of nearby rich kids immediately start whispering and judging. White River City? Didn't that entire squad check in yesterday? Why is there one left over? Wow, he probably bribed his way in through the back door. Look, the loser doesn't even have a badge. Stick with me here. Nobody from Baihei City ever shows up. But this year, 2 guys actually made it. An officer checks his list and asks, wait, just one? Are you that Lu Sheng kid the Martial Arts Association president was hyping up so much? Naturally, some random hater nearby immediately starts mocking him. Makes sense. So you are the special little pet project of the Baihei president. Oh, so scary. Kissing up to the boss is a better skill than being a level 3 martial artist. Wonder how many bribes you handed over behind closed doors. Seeing these punks getting way too loud, the officer points straight at them and yells, "Everyone shut your mouths right now." After silencing the peanut gallery, he signals our boy forward. He heads inside along with the Qingyuan City crew. Next up is supposedly the super official camp initiation ceremony. Drop all your bags on the floor. Someone will come collect your trash later. Lu Sheng quickly complies, tossing his gear down without a single complaint. All right. Walking into the camp, Lu Sheng thinks to himself, bringing us in group by group. Yeah, this is definitely not your standard boring welcome party. Boom! The massive doors slam shut out of nowhere, leaving absolutely everyone panicking in total shock. What the heck is happening? What are they trying to do? Are we being locked up by mistake? The crowd goes absolutely wild, losing their minds in pure chaos. The officer barks loudly to crush the panic. All right, shut up and listen to me closely. Your one mission is to survive the walk down this hallway to the opposite exit. Make it there, and you officially pass the camp entrance exam today. Fail, and you pack your bags. Good luck. The officer drops that bomb and just straight up leaves, ignoring their screaming. Wait, what the heck? I thought this was a ceremony. Why are we testing a hallway? What kind of insane hallway is this? Explain it to us, you coward. Before they can even finish whining, the floor drops them into a secret tunnel. Holy crap, what kind of sick death trap is this? Oh yeah, Lu Sheng was ready and lands safely on his feet, but the others? Not so lucky. Best case scenario, they smashed their butts hard. Worst case? Faceplant. Smack! That guy's chin just kissed the concrete after free-falling. He grabs his totally wrecked face and screams in rage, "Ouch! Where are we? I am dying. What kind of stupid trap is this?" Lu Sheng scans the dark base with his mental energy for hidden death traps. And honestly, you and I could probably guess the results. Yep, this is definitely not your average boring hallway walk. What are all these weird black shadows lurking around? Honestly, mental power is just insane. It is basically a legit superpower straight out of a comic book. While scanning the hallway, Lu Sheng watches Lin Xiaoyu acting super cocky, claiming, I thought they had some grand master plan. Is this really all they got? So boring. Right then, the poor guy who faceplanted angrily points a finger at him. Lin Xiaoyu, you already knew this stupid ceremony was rigged from the very start. You did not even warn anyone, and because of you, I just faceplanted super hard. Lin Xiaoyu puts on his best smug face and absolutely roasts him. You lack even the most basic reflexes to adapt. How do you even have the nerve to call yourself a real martial artist? Seriously, do not go around telling people you are a Qingyuan City genius at this training camp. You are embarrassing all of us. The mocked guy completely loses his mind. He tries to rush in and punch Lin Xiaoyu, but the surrounding crowd immediately holds him back. Lin Xiaoyu, you jerk! Everyone tries to calm the guy down, yelling, all right, stop fighting already! We all came from the exact same city, and getting into this camp was not easy. We really need to stick together as a team here. Right now, the most important thing is figuring out how to pass this stupid exam fast. Lin Xiaoyu casually drops his own idea. Yeah, very true. Our Qingyuan city needs to stay perfectly united. Losing anyone right now would be super tragic. This famous genius training camp? There is no way their entrance exam is going to be a simple walk. But look, we happen to have one totally extra person right here. Wonder if this kind soul would volunteer to go scout the path for us? Lin Xiaoyu aims all that heat straight at Lu Sheng, totally wanting him to be bait. A nice girl nervously speaks up. That is really not cool, but the rest of the guys absolutely love his dirty idea. Ha ha, great plan. A lab rat testing the traps sounds awesome. Ha ha. Lu Sheng just scoffs, staying totally silent. Seeing him stay quiet, Lin Xiaoyu gets super sarcastic. Well, if you are too scared to go first, step aside and make way. Lu Sheng just swats his hand away and steps up. Seeing him actually volunteer, Lin Xiaoyu hits him with pure disgust. Wow, actually taking some initiative? Little boy from Baihe City, you better put on a good show. If you do well, maybe we will actually consider carrying you later. Lu Sheng steps right into the tunnel, turning back with an insanely dark smile. Ha ha, predators always walk alone. Only weak little cows travel in herds. Getting insulted straight to his face, Lin Xiaoyu completely freezes up, totally paralyzed on the spot. He stammers back, "What did you just say?" Lu Sheng shoots him the most provocative glare ever, flashing a super mocking and arrogant grin. Huh? Being provoked like that absolutely sends Lin Xiaoyu into a raging meltdown. He points a shaking finger at Lu Sheng, screaming, "You punk! You dare call me a cow? I will end you!" But before he even finishes throwing his tantrum, the tunnel traps activate, and dozens of glowing pink orbs charge out simultaneously. Lu Sheng? He just stays completely chill. All right, you and I are jumping right in. Lam Thuavu totally panics, stumbling back and screaming, "What is that?" Those pink metal spheres hit the ground and instantly transform into dozens of massive robots. And get this, their power completely crushes your average level 1 martial artist. Yep, these are the infamous mechanical puppets, and they look absolutely terrifying. Seeing their true mechanical forms clearly makes Lam Thuavu absolutely lose his mind in fear. Even the absolute weakest of these mechanical puppets is way stronger than an official level 1 martial artist. Sending this many at once? Do the people running this training camp seriously want us all to just drop dead right here? The whole group starts screaming in total panic. This hallway is way too narrow, so running away is literally impossible. What are they supposed to do? Rumor has it these puppets can execute crazy high-level martial arts programs. The best ones are actually equal to a level 4 martial artist, just way more expensive to build than actually training a real person to that exact same rank. Seriously, this is the very first time seeing these things in action. Lam Thuavu looks over at Luc Thanh and smirks like a jerk. Is this country bumpkin from Baihe City just completely brain dead? The limiters on these mechanical puppets are totally off. The second they sense a living target nearby, they instantly launch an automatic attack. These level 1 puppets are forged from some insane special alloy. Even if you have fists of pure steel, you are going down. The bystanders watching Luc Thanh step right up to the robot are super hyped for the drama. I mean, that kid is not even an official level 1 martial artist yet. One punch from that thing will literally knock him brainless. Luckily, a genuinely nice girl sees the robot closing in and shouts a quick warning. "Watch out!" The robot locks onto him and throws a massive 1,000-pound punch, fully intending to completely crush Luc Thanh into a literal pancake. But Luc Thanh just stands there, completely frozen in front of that giant fist. Then, he simply smirks. Boom! The punch slams down right on Luc Thanh, kicking up a massive cloud of dust. Pure chaos erupts. Everyone shields their faces because the shockwave is just totally insane. Seeing the wild power of that punch, Lam Thuavu smiles all smug, totally convinced that Luc Thanh just got squashed flat like a little bug. But nope. As the heavy dust cloud slowly starts clearing, everyone is absolutely stunned. Luc Thanh literally caught the robot's giant punch with just one single hand, leaving the whole crowd completely speechless. The haters grit their teeth, their faces turning dark as they angrily mutter, "He actually blocked it again!" Not only did Luc Thanh block that massive strike, but he actually squeezes the robot's metal fist even harder with pure, absolute confidence. Is that really it? Then, using just one hand, Luc Thanh casually lifts the entire heavy robot high into the air and violently slams it down. Just like that, the killer machine is instantly completely destroyed, its entire body shattered with gears and metal parts scattering everywhere. After witnessing Luc Than's insane power flex, those rival province kids do not dare utter a single joke. They quietly panic, whispering, "Holy crap, is this guy even human? What are we supposed to do now?" Yeah, it seems he is insanely strong. But suddenly that idiot Lam Thuavu bursts out laughing, scratching his head and acting all tough. "Man, I almost got tricked by this guy. What level 1 mechanical puppet? This thing is literally just a cheap pile of scrap metal. Its actual fighting power is probably equal to a weak wooden dummy. It just looks kind of scary on the outside, that is all. Seriously. If there are this many strong robot puppets here, how could anyone possibly pass the actual exam? Plus, think about it. With his weak skills, how could a trash guy who used connections and is not even a level 1 martial artist survive a real mechanical puppet attack? Right now, you and I can both see Lam Thuavu is just a hopelessly delusional idiot. How can he invent such crazy, wild, fake scenarios in his own head? Someone quickly speaks up, stammering, "No way, dude. This puppet actually looks seriously dangerous." Seeing nobody believes him, Lam Thuavu just rolls his eyes with pure disgust. Whatever, explaining things to you absolute idiots is a waste of breath. If you do not get it, then open your eyes wide and watch exactly how I clear this level. Bursting with arrogant confidence, Lam Thuavu takes a running start, jumps up high, and violently kicks right at the switch on the heavy robot's body. Nice! Seeing Lam Thuavu's incredibly flashy moves makes the whole crowd gasp in awe. Wow, so maybe this scary puppet really is just a cheap fake? Lam Thuavu stands proudly in front of the machine he thinks he just totally wrecked. Spreading his arms wide, he brags. Haha, I told you guys I was not wrong, right? These things are, but before he can even finish his sentence, the robot behind him swings a brutal punch. Still totally full of himself, Lam Thuavu gets absolutely blasted. The punch sends him flying through the air like a rag doll, slamming him straight into the wall. Bam! The thick concrete actually splinters into a dozen massive cracks behind his body. His arrogant face is completely beaten to a bruised pulp, spitting out a couple of broken teeth. Yet, he still barely manages to groan. What the heck? This is not a level 1 mechanical puppet at all. It is a freaking level 2. Right after saying that, his eyes roll back and he totally passes out cold. Someone from the group quickly sprints over to him. Lam Thuavu, wake up, man, are you okay? But he is completely out for the count. His once handsome face is now massively swollen and bruised purple on one side as the terrified crowd slowly drags him into a safe corner. Some people are literally sweating bullets in absolute pure panic. A level 2 mechanical puppet? Just how insane is his actual strength? Meanwhile, Luc Thanh is still just casually chilling, effortlessly destroying the entire remaining army of killer robot puppets. Luc Thanh actually sighs while fighting them off. Sigh. Every single mechanical puppet has a central core. Just tap it lightly, and they shut down. But there are just way too many of them here. So boring. Finally, after a short while, Luc Thanh completely wipes out every last robot puppet in the tunnel. Now, standing right in front of him, is the final door. What happens next? You guys are not ready for this. The robot commander stares at his console, jaw literally hitting the floor. What the heck is happening? All the mechanical puppets are crashing. Weren't these supposed to be brand new? System alerts are blaring non-stop like a crazy DJ set. Unit 99 just completely flatlined. The commander is panicking hard, clutching his tablet. They are all completely trashed. How could a bunch of rookie kids, who just barely hit level 1, completely obliterate level 2 mechanical puppets? This is absolute madness. While the officer is having a total meltdown, a brutally smashed robot suddenly gets chucked right at his face. Luc Thanh casually drops the mic. The second stage is open. You finally showed up. The officer stares at his screen, showing a total connection loss, only to hear Luc Thanh taunt him. Bring it on. The officer is so confused right now. He is thinking to himself, since when did I become the boss of the second stage? I just work here. With killer eyes, Luc Thanh is totally hyped and ready for an all-out war. Looking like the literal Grim Reaper, he coldly mutters, I really hope you do not disappoint me. Luc Thanh goes all in, firing up his cloud-chasing step with 10 times the planetary force. The insane power he unleashes completely outclasses the officer. Faced with this absolute monster-level strength, the poor guy has no choice but to instantly surrender. A desperate scream echoes out. Meanwhile, over in the main control room, system alerts are just going absolutely crazy. Candidates are getting disqualified left and right. Number 8 is out. Lieutenant Colonel Dong Tin Tuyet is intensely glaring at the live camera feeds, watching the chaos. She is aggressively hacking away at her keyboard. Clack, clack. The machines around her are loudly beeping non-stop. Beep, beep. Major Tan Thu Quan strolls in looking way too relaxed, holding a coffee cup and casually humming a catchy tune. What a glorious, stress-free day. Tan Thu Quan looks up, spots Dong Tin Tuyet glued to the security monitors like a hawk, and casually decides to say hello. Oh, hey, you are still here? Dong Tin Tuyet snaps her head back, frowning hard. Do not call me that, Major Tan Thu Quan. If you are so free, get over here and help me read these files. He happily struts over, takes a seat, and asks, All right, Lieutenant Colonel Dong Tin Tuyet. So, how is the quality of the so-called geniuses in this training camp? Dong Tin Tuyet grabs her head and sighs heavy. Honestly, pretty terrible. Only 8 seeds actually meet our crazy standards. They are all official martial artists who have already awakened their natural talents. 5 of them are just basic strength types. The other 3 are speed and defense builds. Tan Thu Quan raises an eyebrow and quickly asks, Any cool mental types? Dong Tin Tuyet actually looks impressed for once. This mental type is easily the absolute best. Ha Lam, 18 years old. She awakened her mental power less than 2 years ago, and she is already approaching the standard of a level 1 spiritual master. Her martial arts talent is solid too, almost hitting level 2. Tan Thiu Quan smirks playfully. Hey, that is pretty good. An absolute genius, just like you back then. Still joking around, he suddenly catches Dong Tin Tuyet's death glare and immediately knows to shut his mouth. Yeah, better zip it. Her death glare is getting dangerously frosty. Ha ha ha. Dong Tin Tuyet frowns and warns him. Stop messing around. I have already listed her as a key training target for this camp. Tan Thiu Quan awkwardly forces a smile and quickly changes the subject. The others are not bad either. His hand taps away, switching the camera feeds. Suddenly, a wild scene on screen makes him squint. The second he realizes what is happening, he literally spits his coffee everywhere. Total panic takes over his face. Holy crap, what is this? Now you and I definitely need to see this. Dong Tin Tuyet gets serious and leans in. Meanwhile, at Arena 7, a robot sneaks up right behind Ha Lam, trying to pull off a cheap shot while she is distracted. But Ha Lam is crazy fast, flexing her mental power to fight the bot. She blasts the robot away, smashing it straight into the wall and leaving a massive crater. With that trash bot handled, she finally lets out a deep breath. Phew, that was the last one, right? Seeing wrecked bots everywhere and a heavy iron door ahead, she smartly decides not to rush in. Ha Lam uses her mental scan to check the vibe, thinking to herself that something feels incredibly dangerous over there. That power level is at least above tier 3. But they aren't attacking me, so this definitely isn't part of the test. Probably just an exam proctor or something. But the second Ha Lam steps through that door, she instantly freezes in her tracks. The absolute chaos inside makes her instantly tense up. Yeah, there are fully armed officers decked out in bulletproof gear and riot shields, looking absolutely terrified. Weapons drawn and ready, every single one of them is hyper-focused on another gate. They are on maximum high alert, acting like some terrifying monster is about to bust through that door. Seeing this wild setup, Ha Lam thinks, what on earth is going on? This is a massive standoff. What are they so afraid of? Super curious about whatever is behind that gate, she fires up her mental power to peek through and scout the situation. Is something crazy happening in there? Ha Lam takes a peek and sees 2 people throwing down, totally confusing her. Wait, are 2 real people actually fighting right now? Why is the opponent a human? Weren't the exam targets supposed to be robots? Suddenly, Ha Lam spots a demonic shadow flashing an evil grin, rushing straight ahead. She nervously wonders, who in the world is that guy? While she is snooping, that demon guy suddenly looks over. Oh snap, he totally spotted her. All right, you and I are starting with pure terror. Those eyes stare her down with an absolutely insane pressure. A terrifying wave of fear shoots right through Ha Lam's body, leaving her completely paralyzed and freaking out. She lets out a totally wild scream and quickly slams that heavy iron door shut. Deciding to hide inside the tunnel, she actually uses her mental power to seal the door so nobody can ever open it again. The officers outside see her screaming and running for her life, and they are honestly just super confused. Ha Lam cowers in a corner, her whole body shaking like a leaf, tears totally welling up in her eyes. Ha ha ha! What even was that thing? This feeling of pure dread is seriously terrifying. Meanwhile, Dong Tin Tuyet and Tan Tu Quan finally show up at the control room. The officers spot them and immediately light up with joy, shouting, Lieutenant Colonel Dong Tin Tuyet, Major Tan Tu Quan. Tan Tu Quan asks with serious concern, what exactly is the situation inside right now? Where did the inside supervisor go? The soldiers quickly reply, a bunch of cameras near the door are totally destroyed, so we literally have zero clue. The supervisor lost contact 3 minutes ago, and we were just about to report it up. Tan Thiu Quan instantly orders, everyone on Route 12, give me a copy of all the documents. But out of nowhere, Dong Tin Tuyet just suddenly interrupts. There is no need for that. Suddenly, a massive, ridiculous force smashes right into the door, cracking open a tiny gap. Every single officer completely clenches their teeth like they are facing a boss monster, gripping their weapons super tight. Luc Thanh straight up shatters the door and the entire wall, casually strolling out like he totally owns the place. Everyone sees the kid, breathes a huge sigh of relief, and finally lowers their weapons. Wait, what? It is just a high school student? But before anyone can actually celebrate, they all turn pale, eyes popping out in pure panic. Luc Thanh is literally dragging an unconscious guy. Yep, that is the missing supervisor. Instantly, the whole room goes back on high alert. Dong Tin Tuyet narrows her eyes and asks, are you not a student from Thanh Nguyen City? Who exactly are you? Luc Thanh just drops the poor supervisor onto the floor with a loud thud and introduces himself. Bakha City, Luc Thanh. Hearing this, Tan Tu Quan bursts into a huge beaming smile. Well done, kid. You casually dismantled that super expensive robot puppet, and you even beat up an actual drill instructor on top of that. You are seriously something else, huh? Luc Thanh awkwardly scratches his head and tries to explain. Just a misunderstanding. I honestly thought this was all part of the big test. He was really strong, so I simply did not hold back. Suddenly, Dong Tin Tuyet uses her mental power to completely scan Luc Thanh. Luc Thanh just stands there completely frozen. Seeing he has absolutely zero reaction to her scan, Dong Tin Tuyet finally pulls her mental power back. After confirming his status, Dong Tin Tuyet offers a cool congratulations. Congrats, you have officially passed the camp entrance exam this time. Student Luc Thanh, go get some rest first. The staff will take you straight to the dorms. Luc Thanh simply smiles and says, understood. Then he quickly follows the guide. Watching him walk away, Dong Tin Tuyet finally sighs in total disbelief. This kid is actually insane. I just checked the video, and that level 2 mechanical puppet looked like an absolute toy in his hands. Tan Thieu Quan holds up the documents, sounding totally stunned. The file says his vitality is only 15, but his combat power is 15,000? Is that even possible? It really is unbelievable. Dong Tin Tuyet flashes back to what just happened. I just used my mental power to probe him. I felt absolutely nothing, and he did not even react to it at all. Tan Thieu Quan immediately asks, so how are you planning to handle this total monster? Dong Tin Tuyet thinks for a second. I have no idea yet, but the stats in his file are definitely way off the mark. For now, let us rank him as a top seed just like Ha Lam to train him up. You and I both know this competition just got infinitely more interesting. On the way to the dorms, Luc Thanh is secretly thinking, was that a mental power probe earlier? Instructor Dong Tin Tuyet's mental power must be at least 5 times stronger than mine. I completely hid all of my mental power away. I wonder if she figured it out. While he is deep in thought, his stomach suddenly growls super loudly. The staff member gets the hint and leads him straight to the cafeteria. Student Luc Thanh, it is time to eat anyway. Let us head to the dining hall for a meal first, and then I will take you to the dorms. Luc Thanh shyly thanks him. Thanks for the trouble. Oh, by the way, let me just ask one quick thing. Is there actually enough food here? He mutters. My appetite has been kind of huge lately. The camp staff member laughs. Ha ha ha, do not worry. For your very first meal, there is absolutely no limit on portions. The kitchen brings out their absolute best dishes right in front of Luc Thanh. His face instantly lights up with pure joy at the amazing food. Even after devouring 20 to 30 plates, this guy is still ordering. This is so good, bring me 5 more plates. No, make it 10, I need this too. Watching him eat like a black hole, the officer standing nearby just stares, completely speechless and wide-eyed. While he is super focused on stuffing his face, a cute girl walks over and says, hi, you are student Luc Thanh, right? My name is Duong Dien. I am also a student from Bak Ha City joining this training camp. We actually met at the martial arts exam. Do you remember me? Would it be okay if I sit right next to you? Pure reflex kicks in. Luc Thanh aggressively guards the giant pile of food on his table. With his mouth totally full, he mumbles, the food here is unlimited. You can go get your own over there. Yang Yan fumes, thinking to herself, who wants your leftovers anyway? Plus, they literally said all you can eat, so what is this guy's deal? Meanwhile, Lu Sheng just casually munches away and asks, hey, I remember the president saying nobody from Bai He City has made it here in ages. What's the real story there? Yang Yan immediately starts explaining. Ah, you totally misunderstood. The truth is, students from Bai He City actually show up here every single year. It's just that for years now, barely anyone actually passes the entrance exam. And even if they do squeeze by, they get kicked right out because they don't have enough points to survive. They suffer like crazy just to be background characters for everyone else. Obviously, nobody wants to put that tragic flop on their resume. Lu Sheng finally gets the picture. He tilts his head and asks, oh, so that makes sense. But wait, what exactly are these points anyway? Yang Yan elaborates, points are literally the only currency here. If you want to use any of the training camp's shiny resources, you gotta pay up in points. Using the training machines, asking the drill instructors for cultivation tips, or scoring premium supplements. Even sleeping in the dorms costs points. Heck, that fancy mutant beast meat you're stuffing your face with, that is strictly military grade, and you can only grab it if you spend those points. And get this, right now, only 3 people in the entire camp actually have any. Lu Sheng stops chewing for a second. Only 3 people? How did those guys even manage to get their hands on points already? Yang Yan doesn't hold anything back and answers right away. You only get them by passing tests. Beating assessments is the only way to earn points. Those 3 got their starting points specifically by crushing the brutal entrance exam. First is Tao Yong from Yanglin City, a level 2 martial artist with a sick kicking talent. The second is another level 2 prodigy from Donglan City, Meng Jianhe, who has crazy speed talent. But the last one is way rarer than normal martial artists, an awakened psychic telepath. Word is, her power and potential are the absolute strongest in this entire camp. Speak of the devil! The psychic Xiaolin is grabbing her food when she spots Lu Sheng eating nearby. She completely freaks out, her whole body violently shaking as she barely holds back a terrified scream. Seeing Lu Sheng casually chowing down, Xiaolin gets instantly terrified and spins right around. Her trembling hands use psychic energy just to keep the food on her tray from flying everywhere. Sweating cold bullets, Xiaolin practically sprints away in pure terror. Lu Sheng, chatting with Yang Yan between bites, catches a glimpse of the fleeing Xiaolin. It clicks in his head. Ah, right, so it is her. Yang Yan raises an eyebrow. Wait, you actually know her? Lu Sheng takes a slow sip of water and casually replies. We met once. Lu Sheng probes further. But wait, earlier you said only 3 people passed. Hearing the juicy gossip floating around, Yang Yan immediately leans in to spill the tea. Rumor has it there is actually a 4th person. But honestly, the stories are way too absurd. They say his power is horrifying. Apparently, he smashed almost all the level 2 mechanical puppets with his bare hands. Plus, this guy is supposedly incredibly arrogant. He even beat up an examiner so badly they got hospitalized. A total out-of-control maniac. Hearing this, Lu Sheng instantly chokes on his water. He awkwardly coughs and plays along. Haha, wow, so fake. That sounds way exaggerated. Yang Yan thinks to herself, this training camp really lives up to the hype. Everyone here is a total genius. Even that absolute monster Lu Sheng, who completely shook up the entirety of Baihe City. Coming here, even he gets totally overshadowed by these freaks. Seeing Lu Sheng choking on his drink, she kindly hands him a napkin to comfort him. Hey, do not worry, Lu Sheng. I believe in you. With your strength and talent, once you train here for a bit, you definitely won't be any worse than them. Lu Sheng takes the napkin, stammering for a moment, completely at a loss for words. Cough, cough. Yeah, thanks. So about that, before he can even finish, a group of dead serious officers march right up to him. Student Lu Sheng, correct? Considering that during the entrance exam, you destroyed 18 mechanical puppets and brutally beat a drill instructor into the hospital, we now need to ask you a few standard protocol questions about the incident. Please cooperate and come with us for a quick trip. You and I both know what's coming. Yang Yan realizes the legendary 4th person she just trash-talked is Lu Sheng. Her jaw literally drops, entirely frozen in sheer shock. Everyone around them is completely blindsided by this insane plot twist. They are so shell-shocked they practically fall out of their chairs. Food drops everywhere. Wait, what? Lu Sheng just calmly stands up and sighs. Yeah, I know. Then, he awkwardly asks the officer, but I am honestly not full yet. Can I pretty please get a doggy bag to go? The officers, totally unprepared for this absurd request, freeze for several agonizing seconds before answering. Fine. After aggressively packing up all his leftover snacks to go, Lu Sheng politely waves goodbye to Yang Yan. So embarrassing. I gotta run. Yang Yan still hasn't processed this massive emotional damage and just stammers out nonsense. Huh? What? Ah, okay. Once Lu Sheng and the guards are gone, the entire cafeteria basically explodes. The crazy rumors were actually true. Oh my god, a monster like that actually exists. Holy crap, the legendary 4th person is actually Lu Sheng from Baihe City. Yang Yan spirals into deep, dark contemplation. Her soul feels like it's buried in frostbite, remembering all the incredibly stupid things she literally just said straight to his face. Right now, she wishes she could just hide under a rock forever. Ha ha ha, the sheer absolute humiliation of it all. Arrogant, out of control, absurd, totally overshadowed, fake, complete maniac. What on earth was I even blabbering about? Alright, let's see the aftermath. In the main command room, Lu Sheng is getting a private chat with Lieutenant Colonel Dong Qingxue. Holding the damage report, she coldly states, Alright, you and I are watching a disaster. Pretty impressive, Lu Sheng. Your little stunt just blew through our entire budget for half a year. Hearing about those damages? Our boy Lu Sheng immediately tensed up hard. Dong Qingxue pauses, then hits him with the facts. Every single puppet costs tens of thousands, and absolutely none of them can be fixed. You are seriously something else. But after having a long discussion about it, we decided to just let this go for now. After all, it was just your normal performance during a totally standard exam. This massive mess is not your fault. Hearing he would not be paying for the damages, Lu Sheng finally breathed a huge sigh of relief. Right then, Major Qin Xiaojun and the first 3 students who passed the test walked in. Opening the door, Qin Xiaojun looked surprised and yelled, Oh wow, you are already here? Well, that is great news. Everyone who cleared the exam is finally gathered in one place. Lu Sheng turned around to check out the 3 of them. Jian, he just glared back with total contempt, acting completely superior. Cao Yong looked at him with eyes full of pure rage and absolute disgust. Meanwhile, Xiaolin panicked the second he walked in and saw Lu Sheng standing there. Right now, the poor guy just wanted to turn into a turtle and run for his life. Dong Qingxue glanced over these 4 elite students who crushed the test and started praising them. All right, first off, huge congratulations to everyone for passing the entrance exam. You did a fantastic job. Holding up 4 reward cards, Dongqing Sui dropped some facts. In this training camp, the stronger you get, the more crazy resources you can actually grab for yourself. Since you passed the test, I am giving you your rewards and your matching points. Once those points reach a certain level, we store them right inside these special point cards. These are your personal point cards. Using her mental energy, Dong Sui dramatically floated a shiny golden card over to each person. Cao Yong gripped his card tight, feeling super hyped. This is the gold card the teacher mentioned earlier, loaded with 100 points. Jian, he was practically glowing too, striking a total victory pose and thinking, awesome, I am totally standing at the absolute top of the food chain now. Xia Lin held his card too, basically crying happy tears. 100 whole points. That is enough to get a legendary advanced psychic head instructor to give him a private, one-on-one lesson. But wait, you and I noticed something off. Lu Sheng was holding a completely white card, making everyone stare at it in absolute confusion. Wait, why is his card white instead of gold? Lu Sheng stared at his card for a second and asked aloud, a white point card? I have literally never heard of this before. Does this mean it has 0 points on it? Eating one monster meat meal in the cafeteria costs exactly 5 points. Using the training room for just 1 hour takes 10 points. A normal instructor coaching you once costs a solid 30 points. Getting the head or vice instructor to teach you costs 100 points. After reading through the entire card manual, Lu Sheng casually dropped a bomb that shocked the room. Well, the only useful thing in here is just eating the meat. That flex was so insane that Qin Xiaojun literally fell out of his chair in shock. Huh? The other students were completely speechless too. Pointing at the card, Qin Xiaojun yelled, "Hey kid, what is that supposed to mean? Do not act all innocent when you got the jackpot. You are holding 1,000 points in your hand. If our instructors had not stepped in to stop the higher-ups, you would be drowning in debt from all the damage you caused." Hearing Qin Xiaojun say that, everyone else's jaws hit the absolute floor in pure shock. What? 1,000 points? Cao Yong suddenly sneered coldly. Haha, I seriously thought this elite training camp was all about raw strength. Who knew they were secretly playing the totally rigged privilege game? What a massive disappointment. Jian, he crossed his arms and scoffed too. Man, just how big are this guy's background connections? It is honestly terrifying to think about. Xia Lin covered his mouth in pure panic. Huh? Do you guys not know what he did during the exam? Cao Yong looked ready to throw hands. Of course I know. Someone spread rumors about him bribing the other students and even the instructors, right? The exam instructors are at least level 3 martial artists. To completely beat them, he would have to be level 4 minimum. Even the strongest talent from before could not pull that off. Plus, looking at him, there is absolutely 0 sign of his vital energy being worn down. If the true point of this training camp is that the absolute strongest gets the most resources, then prove it to me right now. Seeing these tough guys about to brawl, Qin Xiaojun immediately tried to stand up and stop them. Hey, you guys! But Dongqing Sui quickly blocked him. She totally wanted to see exactly how strong Lu Sheng really was. Lu Sheng casually shot back. Haha, are you sure? Cao Yong aggressively charged forward, screaming at him to shut up. Today, I am going to see if you can break my stone skin talent or not. If I even take 1 step back. Before he could finish, Lu Sheng smoothly flicked his finger. Stellar brain grab technique, youth edition with double the absolute power. Cao Yong got blasted away before he could even attack. He crashed straight through the thick base wall, leaving a massive hole and instantly knocked out cold. Honestly, you and I would scream too. The whole thing happened so fast that everyone watching completely lost their minds. What? Realizing he might have gone a bit overboard, Lu Sheng nervously mumbled. He asked me to hit him, so do not make me pay for this. Alright, you and I are seeing something totally wild. After watching Lu Sheng literally flick Cao Deng through a solid wall, Ha Lam and Tian Ha are completely shell-shocked. Like they just got struck by lightning, stammering forever without forming a single complete sentence. Absolute madness. But our guy Lu Sheng, he does not care about the drama. He just wants to hurry back to his room and train. Meanwhile, Qin Xiaojun just turns away and whistles, like he totally saw this exact outcome coming. Lu Sheng casually drops, "Can I go now?" and just straight up walks away. Pure savage. Dong Shui sees him leaving and immediately calls out, "Student Lu Sheng, what exactly is your plan for your upcoming cultivation? If you use your accumulated points, you can actually get my exclusive, private coaching." Lu Sheng gently pushes the door open. "Thanks, Chief. But no thanks. I have way more important things to do." Qin Xiaojun is instantly super curious and has to ask, "Hold up. You have something more important than the chief instructor's personal guidance?" Tian Ha and Ha Lam are sweating, listening closely to hear what could be so epic. Lu Sheng just deadpans. "Yeah, I want to go back and sleep." Hearing this absolutely ridiculous excuse leaves Tian Ha and Ha Lam totally speechless, completely opening their eyes in weird admiration. Wait, what? Qin Xiaojun is literally dying of laughter. Ha ha ha, this kid. Meanwhile, Dongqing Shui just looks totally drained, absolutely unable to say another word. After everyone finally leaves, Dongqing Sui checks the security cameras, only to see Lu Sheng actually went straight back to his dorm to crash. Hilarious. Qin Xiaojun acts like this is the craziest joke ever. This little punk actually went back just to sleep. Ha ha ha! Dongqing Sui seriously cannot figure out his brain. What is he even doing? There are literally zero training resources inside that dorm room. Qin Xiaojun is just totally here for the drama. This is the first time I have seen such an interesting genius. Let him do whatever he wants. Dongqing Shui lowers her voice, completely serious. You do not get it. He is the perfect whetstone. He can easily trigger the rapid growth of everyone else here.